What's up, fam? After one loss against the Brooklyn Nets, the sky's fallen, apparently. Let's talk about it.
Let's go! This ain't the fuck like this thing he stinks!
Oh shit!
It's gone!
What is up, guys? Welcome to another edition of Fan Friday. As always, I'm your host, Jake Friel, along with Dan Shriok, Pete Young down below. We got a jam-packed show for you today. Like I said earlier, according to some Sixers fans, after getting dominated by the Brooklyn Nets last night, it's over. It's over. It's done. Season's over, according to some people. We busted our nut for the first 5 games, and then against the Brooklyn Nets, they're done. They're cooked. Season's over. Going to be talking about that. Obviously, a lot happening around the world in the NFL. A lot of stuff happening. Deshaun Watson today, he was found not guilty of his accusations. He's still got some civil suits and stuff to go on, but teams are going to be piling in, so we're going to be talking about that. A lot of big trades happen. Russell Wilson to Denver, Carson Wentz on the move again. Be talking about that as well. But before we get into it, Fan Friday, as always, is brought to you by Gleason's Bar. Gleason's Bar is located at 6700 Mill Creek Avenue in Levittown, PA. Use promo code A2D for 10% off your order whenever you dine in, take out, or order online at Gleason'sBarandSteaks.com. The promo code again is A2D for 10% off your order when you take out, dine in, or order online. Before we get to our poll question is also brought to you by All Campus. All Campus is giving 20% off everything in their store, including hats, shirts, and their team cornhole sets to all of our subscribers. So go to our YouTube channel. If you haven't already, search A2D Radio. Hit the like, hit the subscribe, share it around. Tell your friends about us. Spread the word. If you don't like our show, I can guarantee you we have 15 other shows on this platform. So there's someone that you're going to like or someone's opinion you're going to end up agreeing with. Just how it happens. But
you don't like our show, you're a fucking asshole.
But our poll question for tonight, your expectations for the Philadelphia Sixers have changed after being dominated on Thursday night. Agree or disagree? So I'm going to go first. Just get it out of the way. I'm going to disagree. Can we all relax, please? I understand James Harden didn't play well. Everyone's like, oh, James Harden doesn't play well in big games. He struggled. You saw it. The whole team didn't play well. But aside from Joel Embiid and Tobias Harris actually showing up, nobody else played well. And I think that's kind of – I'm not going to blame Doc for the loss, but the one thing I will say is that the team was too emotionally invested, I think, in the moment rather than the game itself. And what I mean by that is they were more focused on, obviously, Ben Simmons coming back and buying into all that emotion and things like that, to where Doc Rivers should have had the more focus for the game, because at the end of the day, really wasn't a big deal. But now the national media is making a big deal about it because Kyrie went off and everyone made their shots. The Brooklyn Nets shot, I think, for over 60% of their shots. Or they made 60% of their shots, excuse me. So are they going to do that again when we go against them eventually? Or even if we go against them again in the postseason? No. There's no way. I mean, Kevin Durant's going to get his because it's Kevin Durant. We know what he does. But Kyrie Irving, I don't think he's going to be that hot again. Same thing with Kevin Durant, even though I just said he's going to get his. They're not going to be hitting every shot and all that under the sun. But am I worried? Am I concerned about where the Sixers are headed? No, not at all. It's one game. I'm not going to worry about it. Now everyone's saying we lost the trade again. And Ben Simmons hasn't even played a game yet, and let alone he might not even play this year. So what are we talking about? It's one game. We have a young team. I understand that. The young guys showed their inexperience. Maxey got dominated defensively by Kyrie Irving, and we saw that. And it happens. It happens. It's part of the game, and I'm not going to be sour after one loss. And I think Rye said last night on A2D Wednesday nights, even though yesterday was Thursday, they did their show on Wednesday or Thursday after the game, given their post game. But If they lose their next, if they go like 2-4 in their next 6, I'll be worried. Then I'll hop on the conversation with you, being like, okay, well, this team isn't what we thought it was. But right now, it's one game. I think they're going to bounce back again tomorrow, just after a tough loss. And I think James Harden said it best, to where they kind of needed that. It was a reality check. So refocus, adjust. I think they'll be fine. Again, I disagree with the poll. I think they'll be just fine. Whoever wants to go next.
Yeah, I could completely agree with you. Everything you said. You know, I think if anybody's judging this team off of one game, regardless of who it is, at the end of the day, that's just crazy. I mean, I'll even add on to like what you said in terms of like the last thing about like if they go 2-4 or something like that in their next 6 or something like that, I'm not worried then either, because like at the end of the day, like if you look at any great team when they, you know, when they add a big piece like, you know, Harden or whoever, if it's a superstar caliber player, it rarely clicks like that. Now we won 5 in a row and we looked great at times, but we also played some teams that, you know, we played the Knicks twice. We played, you know, Minnesota, who's, you know, nothing to kind of, you know, go crazy about. But I think they'll be fine. But I'm not going to worry about it either way. I think the only way that I would start getting concerned and worrying seriously about any of this is if it just looks completely horrible for like, you know, the final 2 or 3 weeks. If that happens, then yeah, maybe I'll start to worry about it a little bit. Maybe, you know, we could say something isn't fitting right or they're missing something. But no, I don't. At the end of the day, nobody should be concerned about this team or changing their expectations at all.
Pete?
As someone who was there last night and had to watch that.
Oh, you were there last night?
I was there last night.
You son of a bitch.
Yeah, man. I told you I had tickets.
Yeah, but I thought you told me you sold them. But anyway,
No,
continue.
Cavs game.
Continue.
As someone who was there last night and had to watch that fucking monstrosity live with his best friend who had watched the whole process with him and was there when we drafted Ben Simmons and all the emotion and everything, I'm not fucking worried. I had the Sixers win last night, but in the back of my mind the whole time I was like, this is a powder keg of a game. There is so much emotion in every aspect, like with Saf, with Andre, obviously with Joel and guys like Maxey and stuff like, and Tobias, you know, and Harden when it's dealing with Brooklyn and everything. Just nothing went right. Like they were shooting 62% from Brooklyn was shooting 62% from the 3 and like 52% from the field.
Yeah, something like that.
Like they're not going to do that on a regular basis. Also, Kyrie's not going to play half the fucking games. And God forbid you need Ben Simmons to give you something.
Yeah. I'm
not worried. They've played 6 games. They won 5. So in the James Harden era, they're 5-1. Like I'm not freaking out. I'm not overreacting. You got Johnny Marks losing his fucking shit. But like that's what I have a friend on Twitter who every other day she's basically telling me, "Oh my God, Johnny Marks lost his shit." I'm like, "What happened now?" Something new every day with this guy, and that's what they all are because they're like, "Oh my God, it's the biggest game of the year. It doesn't matter." I'm like, they played 6 games together. Like I understood if like we had traded for Harden like, earlier on. And this was like game 30 or something.
Right.
It's game 6. Like you played 6 games together and they're 5-1. They look like a very good basketball team, but also they're still getting that's an emotional game. Like, I'm sorry. Sometimes people let their emotions get the better of them. Not everyone can be the stone cold warrior all the time. Like, it just is what it is. Like, people deal with emotions. Like, that was an emotional night for me. I struggle with mental illness. I had to watch that bumblebee looking motherfucker all night long. And I'll say this, I would have spit in his face. I would have spent the night in jail. I would have been proud of it.
You would have had a lifetime ban probably from Wells Fargo Center too. But...
That's fine. I would sleep like a fucking baby. I like games on TV better anyway.
I mean, you're saving yourself a shitload of money. I'm not
exactly. I am saving myself a shitload of money.
Yeah, I'm not mad at you at all. But I mean, again, it is what it is. Got to move on to the next one, and I think they'll be fine throughout this stretch. Let me when I get a second. But no, am I worried? No, I'm not worried whatsoever. Like Pete said, it's only game 6. They have a lot more. They have a lot. How many games they have? 16, right? 16, 17 games left. I think it's something like that. But anyway, they have a handful of games left. I think they'll be fine. The chemistry will continue to build, and the whole team will start to gel together. Tobias, you can tell, is still kind of trying to figure out what his position is in the being the 4th guy really on this team now, aside from Maxey, who had a off night. But again, he's young, so it's nothing really to be too concerned about. So, but let's just look at their next 6 games real quick. Sixers go against the Magic on Sunday. Then the Nuggets come to the Wells Fargo Center on Monday. Then Wednesday, we go against the Cleveland Cavaliers. Then Friday, we go against the Dallas Mavericks, and then the Toronto Raptors. So, and then you have Miami Heat right after that. So it's a good stretch of games. And the only thing I disagree with Dan on, he said if they lose if they go like 2-4 in the next 6, he's not worried. I'll start to be a little concerned. Like if they played how they played last night.
Oh, sure.
Throughout this 6-game stretch,
yeah, like they go 2-4, or they play like dog shit throughout the entire 6-game stretch.
Mm-hmm.
I'll be worried. Until then, I'm cool with where we're at.
I'm coasting right now. I'm absolutely coasting.
Yeah, don't get me wrong. If they're getting 30 bombs dropped on them and they're losing by 30 points, then yeah, and it's multiple games, and all right, yeah, I'm going to start to worry about it. But even like I said, if they go 2-4 and the games are competitive, like even if they lose by 10 points, like that, I'm not worried about that. Like,
okay,
it's going to take time, regardless of what anybody thinks. You can go back to any great team that gets compiled, especially like during the middle of the season. I mean, it's probably we're not going to win it. I highly doubt we're going to win it this year. You just don't see shit like that happen
in the first year.
The only time it's ever happened, in my opinion, is the I don't count the Warriors just because they were already made.
They were already established, yeah.
And they won 73 games the fucking year before, and they added KD.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that wasn't in the middle of the season either, though. I'm saying like the middle of the like at like a deadline trade.
Well, I was more like saying like first year stars, like first year play together.
Yeah, but we got to look at this like we should be looking at it like deadline acquisitions, because that's exactly
there's never really been like a deadline.
There hasn't. Yeah, it hasn't happened. So we
just the only thing I'd say is comparable. When Kawhi joined Toronto.
No, it still wasn't deadline. That was off season. So he had the full year, and
I mean, he played so infrequently, he might as well have been a deadline.
No, he didn't play 30 games. I guarantee he still played 65 plus games or 60 games,
something like that. I'm pretty sure
we're talking 30 games that Harden's probably going to play as a Sixer. So it's going to be tough for them. Basically, what I'm getting at, it's going to be nearly impossible for them to be the full group that they're going to probably be next year with him on the floor.
Yeah.
He did play 60. You are correct.
Yeah.
I swore I thought he played less.
Probably felt like less, but yeah. Again, my expectation, even when we got Harden, was Eastern Conference Finals or bust, and I think we're still going to be able to get there. Even if we get to the finals, that's an accomplishment in my book. But
Absolutely.
No, you're going to win it all.
Well, I mean, if we do, I'm all for it.
Yeah, obviously.
I'm
But
all
it's just
for
like
it. But the likelihood of that happening.
If you magically think that like we're just gonna, if we don't win a championship, it was a bad season. I don't know what to tell you. You know
Stupid.
What I mean?
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah, Tyrese Maxey, who's been showing out since we've gotten Harden, and he's developed tremendously. So there's a lot of positives, but again, season's not even over yet. I'm not going to start handing out accolades.
You got scumbags like Howard fucking Eskin. Yeah. Oh my God, it shows what type of player this new generation is. Really, Michael Jordan was fucking hookers and going to casinos. What the fuck are you talking about?
That's also a different generation too, though.
But like,
I get what you're getting at.
If you're gonna slam this new generation, we can talk about all the fucked up shit they used to do in the '80s that would never fucking be brought up.
Well, the '80s.
Oh.
What do you call it? In the '80s, it looks like the Wild West compared to how everything is
Oh my
now.
God, it's not even like a question. Like, and he so because he was getting mad because Harden went to a birthday party last night, right?
Oh,
yeah.
People
He
were
went
all
to the
upset. I
baby's
did hear about
little
this.
baby or whatever his name is birthday
Yeah.
party. He had already set it up prior to the game, so he was going either way.
Right.
Like they were talking about it on WIP this morning. They're like, "What did you want them to do?" What? Oh no, 97.5. They're like, "What did you want him to do? Cane himself in the background instead of going out and enjoying himself?"
Yeah, let him. What do you call?
Well,
it? Let him
somebody
live
made
his
a
life.
good comparison about it, like comparing it to like average Joes like us. Like you have a bad day at work, you have a shitty day.
Yep.
You're not allowed to go out and go to a party or
Have fun.
whatever.
Yeah.
Like,
Right.
And look at every other game since he's been there. He's doing shit after the work. He's doing fucking suicides.
Yeah,
after
he's
the
working
win.
out
running up
after
the stairs
the,
and
yeah,
shit.
He's working out
Like, I
after the
don't-
game.
And they made a good point on the show where they're like, what type of message does that send to Maxey? Like, let's say he's all doom and gloom after the game, right? Oh shit, James is worried. Do I have to be worried?
Yeah.
It's like he's not. James Harden is clearly not worried. Therefore, none of the guys should be fucking worried.
Mm-mm.
Okay, come on, like.
Yeah. Again, this team's still young and coming off an emotional loss, and
6 fucking games, man.
Yeah,
Six
it's-
games where we went 5-1.
right. Yeah. No need to worry whatsoever. I'm not worried about it.
Panic! You gotta hit the panic button. Break it up in the off season.
Yeah. In our in our ATD group chat the other night, well, actually no, last night, Evan and Jimmy from the Flight Zone, you can check those guys out on Monday nights. They're all panicking and they're like, "Oh, once Ben gets on the floor, all he has to do is facilitate and play defense." I'm like, "Okay, but what's he doing offensively? What's he gonna do offensively?"
How's that gonna work when you can just like foul Ben?
Right.
especially
And
in the
how's that going to
playoffs.
work when Kyrie can't play?
Yeah.
And how's that going to work when KD has his next injury, which we all know it's going to happen?
Based off the past couple of years, yeah, you're right.
Yeah, based off of the last couple of years, yeah, he's a knee injury or a groin tear or
Something,
a hamstring pull away.
Yeah.
It's like Kawhi Leonard. Like I would literally set my watch to it.
So basically, without Kyrie and without Ben, theoretically in Brooklyn, it's 3-on-5.
Yeah, basically.
It's
The
3-on-5.
funny thing, like the hysterical thing about it is, if you look at like the Sixers rosters that they basically put together
Mm-hmm.
around when Ben was here, it was all shooters.
Right.
Like priority was always shooting. They
Yep.
always put shooters around them. So like I get you've got Kyrie and I get you have KD, like two great shooters. I get it, but like everybody expecting more from Ben just because those two guys are on the floor.
Yeah.
I don't think it's going to be easy for him because, like
No.
when he was playing with LeBron, right? When Kyrie's with LeBron, LeBron could play off the ball. Like LeBron obviously needed the ball in his hands at times, but he could play off the ball. Ben Simmons can't fucking do that.
Mhm.
He can only play with
Yeah,
the
we've
ball.
never seen it. Yeah, you're right.
So what's he gonna do? Like, when Kyrie has the ball or KD's dribbling up midcourt? Like, what's he gonna do? He's just gonna sit in the fucking dunker spot.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and that's what he does. When he doesn't have the basketball, he just stands there.
Like, can you imagine? Like, let's say Ben plays, right? And we're just like, nobody goes towards him. They just leave him on that island. He doesn't do dick. Can you just imagine what Kyrie and KD are going to be thinking?
Right. Yeah. And I think that's only a matter of time before KD gets frustrated because, say, hypothetically, Ben does play, which I don't expect him to play this year. That's just my opinion. But say, hypothetically, he does play in the playoffs and Ben does his usual Ben thing. KD's not going to stand for that.
The only way Ben Simmons would play, in my honest opinion, because this is my honest belief, is that if they got us and they're up 3-0, Ben will magically make his appearance in that fourth game.
Oh, probably. Yeah, at that
It'd be
point.
pretty funny if he fucking did. And then the Sixers were the first team to fucking come back from an 0-3 deficit.
Oh, my God.
Actually, I want now that you said that, Pete, I want that to happen. Yes.
Yeah, I want that to happen.
Yeah.
Actually, no, don't.
I don't like 3-0, 3-1 leads.
I don't like it either. I'm just saying, like,
hypothetically.
Like,
to be fair, LeBron's not there to save him this time.
No, definitely not. But I mean, hypothetically, if that did happen, the city would be on fire. We're unstoppable. But
we're gods. We cannot be killed.
Yeah. Let me get to the fam real quick because I've been neglecting them a little bit. But before I get to the comments are also brought to you by Manscaped. Get 20% off plus free shipping with the promo code A2D at manscaped.com. Unlock your confidence and always use the right tools for the job at manscaped.com. Promo code again is A2D for 20% off plus free shipping. Bro, it's all about giving here at A2D.
Yeah, like give your balls a shave.
Exactly. You need it. Didn't think you needed it? Not until you have Manscaped. Todd Womack says, Philly Dilly fam. What's up, Todd?
Philly Dilly.
Shaquan Gator says, somebody explain to me why the Eagles made our center the highest. It's what? Can you stop? We'll get. It's 1 year. Who cares? Knock it off. It's 1 year.
He was going to get $30 million at the start of the season. They changed it to, we literally saved $16 million.
Yeah. If you're mad about a guy who's going to play his last year here, then I can't help you.
He took a $16 million pay cut. The fuck are you talking about?
Yeah, I don't know. Pete Evans from Birds of a Feather. You can check those guys out on Thursday. They do a great job. Free agency starting next week, so they're going to be talking a lot about that. So stay tuned. Pete says, "Yo, fam."
About it.
He's going to disagree to the poll.
That's because you have taste.
That's also true too. That's very true. Pete does have taste.
I feel like Russ. I feel like Harden was tried to take over, and Maxey was just kind of let it happen.
Mm-hmm.
And I just don't think that's going to be the case moving forward. I think Harden, it was just one of those games where he felt a rhythm and it just didn't go off.
Yeah, and Russ says, for the people listening to the audio version at home, he says something felt off last night. Maxey was almost non-existent. And that's just part of it. Or like I touched on earlier, he's a young player. He's only in his second year, so again, playoff atmosphere, playoff type of game. It happens. I'm not worried about it. It's a regular season game. If this was happening in like a postseason game, I'd be concerned. But it's part of the growing process. So with Maxey, I'm not worried about it. But fam, you see that little circle around Russ's name? It's because he's an A2D member, and you can become an A2D member for only $9.99 a month. Perks include appearances on shows, members only streams, shout outs, weekly sports picks from Money Pop Podcast in Willie Vegas. I'm telling you, Pete or Nathan Wilson, spend a little money, make a lot of money. I'm telling you, $9.99 a month for the money that you're going to be making with those two. $9.99 a month is nothing. Membership pays for itself. Brian Daly from the Hockey Happy Hour. You can check those guys out on Tuesday nights. Says, what's up, boys? I'm going to disagree with the poll. They had bad shooting night. Yeah, absolutely. And again, like we touched on earlier, it's one of those nights where nothing goes in and everything goes in for Brooklyn. So again. Is it going to happen the next time we meet Brooklyn? Potentially? No, there's no way. If it does happen again, then then we're going to have a problem if that happens again. Marquise Graham says, agree. I got the 76ers second round exit. I'm not going to put high expectations on them. I'll rather prove it come play. That's fair. I get
fine.
it.
That's what they've been the last few years.
Yeah, no, that's fair. Recency bias, and over the past couple of years, I get it. I understand it. If they're a second round exit again, though, Marquise, there's going to be a huge problem in this city. Doc Rivers is probably gone, to be honest with you.
Maybe I want them to lose.
Yeah, just because I mentioned.
I hate Doc Rivers. He's Brett Brown with a ring.
Yeah, I'm not a huge fan of Doc either. I just think he's an overrated coach.
I
That's
want
just my opinion.
Step over, but what the fuck do I know, huh?
Brian Daly checks back in. He also says Nets probably won't have another shooting night like they did last night. Sixers will make adjustments and they'll be fine. Exactly. Yeah.
How dare you use logic to derail my emotional rant?
How dare you? But I'm not worried.
Brian, this is Philadelphia. We don't do facts. We don't do feelings.
Yeah, we have to be negative. It's over. Season's over. According to a lot of people, we're done. We are cooked, but not really. Todd says Philly fans sometimes have cowboy mindsets. That's fair. That's fair. Mark, what am I tripping about? Like, what are we tripping about? That we shouldn't be worried? Why should we be worried? Is that what you're saying? Mr. Wing, knock it off. Harden quit in the game. He was set to get his friend little baby. Can you knock it off, Mr. Wing? I love you, but no. Knock it off. Marquise says I see forward to possibly 5-1. Losses, honestly, to the Mavs, Heat, but Heat definitely. Even then, I can't say Heat definitely. I mean, Heat and Mavs, if those are the only two losses, I'm fine. In the next 6, I'm fine with that. If we go 5-1, I'm more than happy. I am more than happy. Mark says 3-1 in the next 4. Molly Mall. What's up, Molly Mall? What's up, fellas? What's up, Molly? Molly Mall, how are you feeling about possibly getting rid of Amari Cooper? Apparently he's going for reportedly a 3rd or a 4th, which is shocking to me.
Hey, Molly Mall, don't worry. We'll take nice, good care of Amari. Give him a little Philly welcome, buddy.
Mr. Wing says Sixers have no shooters to beat the Nets in a 7-game series.
KD is injury prone. Kyrie can't play half the games, and Ben Simmons most likely won't play. Have fun.
Yeah, I'm not worried about it. And again, Seth,
you're also just a Harden hater, so your opinion doesn't really mean anything.
And people are like all upset because Seth went off. And everyone's like, "Oh, we should have never got rid of Seth Curry." Like we know how.
Yeah, and then his next 4 games, he'll average like 12. Like, come on.
Exactly. Yeah, I'm not even.
Yeah, Seth Curry is the definition of spotty shooter, and I didn't want to trade Seth. I still think we should have traded Matisse, but
yeah, he's one of the better shooters in the league, and I agree with you. I think I would have rather traded Matisse, but
they literally have no defense. That's the problem.
Huh?
I get what you're saying in terms of like keeping the shooting.
Mm-hmm.
But if you did that,
you'd have no defense. You're
literally have no defense.
Mm-hmm.
So, as suspect as our defense is now, you remove him, and it's
you're getting up like 100 plus.
I mean, he didn't really do anything last night, so you know.
Okay, and that's fair, but it's one night. I mean, at the end of the day, you can pull people from all around the league, and they all say that Thibault's one of the best defenders in the league.
Yeah.
I mean, that's not even there's no question about that. So if I'm at the end of the day, like I'm shipping Curry off because he's gonna come off your bench anyways.
Yeah. Yep.
Thibault in our situation, because we don't have a 3, he's got to start. So I sure as hell don't want Danny Green starting.
No.
I'm at the point where I'd rather just start Danny.
But to be honest, I think if Danny Green was healthy, I think he would have started last night. in all honesty. But Marcus also says either or, if Philly don't win, all I can say is Doc Rivers will need to go ASAP. Listen, Marquise, I'm with you. If they're a second round exit, then yeah, sure. I'm all aboard.
Win a championship, and I'd still say fire Doc Rivers.
I don't know how you could do that.
Yeah, I wouldn't do
stand
that.
him.
But
I can't stand his interviews. I can't stand his face.
I'm just not. No, I'm with you. I think he's one of the more overrated.
Yeah,
coaches
I
in
can see that.
basketball,
Like
but
the way he's like condescending and shit like that. Like
Well,
I'm not a fan of that, but he's a good coach.
Like this world breaking coach. I'm like, you've been doing it forever, and you had the last time you won, you had 4 fucking Hall of Famers.
Well, Pete, let me ask you a question. Would you talk to Pop like that? Would you talk to Pop like that, Pete?
No, I wouldn't, because Pop deserves respect. You're you're Glenn Rivers. Take up the championship.
He is a good coach. Like
he's a good coach.
Like you're talking. No, he's not an okay coach. Come on.
No, he's a good coach.
Post Celtics, I don't think
It doesn't need to be. Okay, he's had some mishaps in the playoffs. I agree, but like it doesn't need to be one or the other. It doesn't mean he's like, oh, he's a fantastic coach. He's one of the best fucking coaches all time. Or he's a shit coach.
I'm not saying he's a bad coach. I'm saying
he's a very good coach. He's a very good
vastly overrated coach.
I mean, players around the league will tell you different.
Yeah, they like him, but that's the other thing. He's widely.
I don't know. Paul George didn't seem to be liking him too much.
No. Well, that's a whole. They have a history.
That's
a whole other conversation.
Wasn't liking him too much.
That's a whole other conversation. Those two have a history. That's different.
Kawhi's a fucking weirdo.
Yeah, Kawhi is a weirdo. Like, there's nothing that can make that man happy. Oh no, he is a winner. Yeah, he is a weirdo.
I like winners.
Emilio says if Tobias Harris would step his game up, this team would be better. He's a
he stepped up last night.
Yeah, he's the only one that really. Him and Embiid, they're the only ones that stepped up last night. So again, I think he needs to learn to. I think he needs to learn to catch and shoot more, but
I feel like that's just going to come, or he's going to be gone. So. One of the two things.
Well, because I've noticed it these past couple games too, right? To where either Harden or someone will pass him the ball and he's right behind the line, and then he'll just grab it and go down the lane when you have a perfect opportunity to just catch and shoot. But
I mean, I don't agree with the sentiment that Embiid had a great game last night either.
I'm not going to say he had a great game
statistically, but I was there. He was sloppy as shit.
He was like 5 or 6 for 17.
The line, him getting to the line was the only good thing he did.
Yeah, and that was like he had I think 10 or 12 attempts in the first quarter.
He had 16 points. He had 16 points in the first quarter.
Yeah, I'm talking about foul. He was at the line like 10 to 12 times in the first quarter, though.
Yeah, yep. But again, the whole team didn't really play well. They didn't really pass the ball. A lot of them were playing ISO, and you kind of knew where that was going to lead to. So, again, it is what it is. Greg Milakovic from A2D Wednesday nights and also agree to disagree on Sundays. He says, "What's up, fellas? Relax, Pete." Jeez. Get all excited.
Why do I need to relax?
There's probably something earlier in the show. This comment was a little bit ago. What's up, Bryce?
Yo.
He says, "Go get Watson." Yeah, we'll talk about that later. Greg also says, "Big game. James sucks. They're at 17, atrocious." Yeah, no, absolutely.
Yeah, he had a bad game. Guess what? He had 5 really great games.
Yeah, he absolutely did. Greg says he disagrees with the poll. After the trade, my expectations were lower. Yeah, because he hates Harden. So that doesn't. Yeah, that's. Yeah,
I mean, so you can't be objective. So you're already cast to the side.
No, but that's Greg though. he doesn't like a guy that's just.
You should work for WIP.
He says, "Wentz to DC now." Yep, we'll talk about that later.
I was at work when that happened. That was hilarious.
That is funny. Frank Vespi from A2D Wednesday nights. He says he's not worried. Yeah, and nor should anybody be. Mr. Wing says definitely try and get Watson. Don't think he wants to be here. Yeah, that's true.
It's okay. We don't want him here.
Well, you don't, but
I don't know. You're correct.
We talked about this earlier. Bryce says Russell Wilson to
Yes,
Denver.
he was.
No,
thank you.
White says Deshaun Watson to Philly. Maybe. Give it to me, Pete. David Rosca says Von Miller staying with the Rams. I don't know. I think he might go back to Denver.
I'll put a 10 spot on him going back to Denver.
Yeah, I
He's
might
already talked about it.
Yeah, he's like hinted at it. He's like, yeah,
Because
should I wear 58
he's won 2 rings now. He's basically secured his Hall of Fame spot at this point.
Oh, it's locked up. It's locked up all day.
And you get to go back to your home team. Imagine that. You go back to the Broncos, because I'll guarantee the Broncos will win in the next 4 years because that's their fucking franchise.
Mm-hmm.
Like they always win it when they're the weirdest fucking franchise I've ever seen.
What do you mean?
So they draft Tebow, right? Flops. Then they go out and he takes him to the playoffs, and they're like, fuck it, we're going to go get Manning. And then they win a Super Bowl finally.
Oh, yeah.
And then they're like, fuck it, we'll waste our time with quarterbacks. And then they're like, nah, fuck it, we're going to go get Russ.
Yeah. Well, I mean, they're pretty much a stat. And people are like writing them off, too. It's weird. Like they have a great defense. They have a young offense that's beyond talented with Jerry Jeudy.
I hate to tell people this. They were in way better position for Russ than we are because they have a good O line. I mean, obviously the O line is not better than ours, but they have a solid O line. They have great offensive play. They have great wide receivers. They have good tight ends. They have nice running backs, and they have a legit top 10 defense.
Yeah. Yep. Greg also says Kyrie will be playing home games.
No, he won't.
Well, I mean, they'll probably clear protocol by then, I would think.
Maybe.
Well, yeah, but I know they said they were talking about clearing the whole protocol soon, but we'll see. Oh, geez, Ryan has a whole freaking thing. All right. Later, Pete. Later,
Jesus.
Well, this is what Ryan does. He writes paragraphs. So he says the 76ers won. Players without the ball need to stop standing around looking at their teammate with the basketball and give him help so it doesn't get trapped. I know what you mean. Number 2, he says players without the basketball, when they try to put up jump shots, need to attack the basketball expecting jump shots, so on and so forth. Number 3, when the other team puts up jump shots, I get what you're saying. They have to be better on offense. They have to spread the ball around more.
You literally couldn't have just said they need to play better offensively
and spread the ball around more. Yeah, I hear
you. There
you go.
You did it in like 2 sentences.
No, but that's what Ryan does. And I think this is the first time Ryan's commented on our show, so we appreciate it, Ryan. But yeah, that's what Ryan does. He writes paragraphs.
Sure, whatever.
Attack Dak says KD, foul merchant. Yeah, over foul merchant.
Also,
Bryce Blackwell says KD is healthy and Kyrie is about to be full-time. Yeah.
How long is KD going to be healthy for? Because
that's
he hasn't shown to be healthy in the last 2 years.
Bryce says we'll be beating not beating your Heat squad. I mean,
it's okay. You guys will choke in the first round again and get knocked out. So
we'll see, Bryce. We'll see. Mr. Wing and Bill going back and forth.
Once again, you're showing that you don't know basketball.
Chuck Moranin from Birds of a Feather says, "What's up, gentlemen?" He disagrees with the poll.
Notice all the smart people are disagreeing.
Let's see here. Ryan says, "Oh no, we suck again, Sixers."
Oh no, we suck again.
Yeah. Oh no, we suck again. But Brodo also says Ryan Smooth's comment is longer. It's Sam Hickey's Sixers.
His letter is longer than Brian Colangelo's tenure.
Don't bring that up. I said it when we got Colangelo years ago. I knew that was going to be terrible, and lo and behold, it was terrible.
How could you not? Your president of basketball operations hired his son.
Yeah, because of your That's the only reason. The guy's a dickhead. Total dickhead.
We were literally the Trump Foundation of the fucking NBA. It was a joke. Like, listen here, my son, he's the best son. Nobody touches my son.
Ryan says, what was the poll question? The poll question, Mr. Brodo, was your expectations for the Philadelphia 76ers have changed after being dominated on Thursday night. Agree or disagree? And I think all of us disagreed. So nothing to worry about after one game unless you're
Stupid.
unless you're Evan or Jimmy from the Flight Zone on Monday nights. Love those guys to death, but again, they're young, emotional, and they're like, "Oh, it's over." As soon as you get Ben Simmons on the floor, it's done. It's done. All he has to do is play defense and distribute. Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
All right.
Worked out so great here.
Yeah. Exactly. But no, there's no reason to be worried. There's no reason to be worried whatsoever. And if anyone disagrees with us, just comment in, say you want to come on the show, because that's what Fan Friday's for. Take your call-ins. You can chat with us on the show, message our social media on Facebook, Instagram, being like, hey, I want to come on. I want to talk about baseball being back. I want to talk about the Phillies. NFL free agency starting soon. Some of the moves that already got made. Carson Wentz, obviously, back in the NFC East, so there's a conversation there. Deshaun Watson got found not guilty of his accusations, so we'll see. I mean, there's still civil suits and a couple other things to go on, but that trade conversation is going to dominate the airwaves for the next couple of days. So,
first thing tomorrow morning on WIP, I'm calling it right now.
Well, it's going to be a hot topic for the next couple of days.
First round last year, so it's not the bubble anymore, baby.
Yeah, that's true. Bryce says, we're not joking in the first round. Stop the cap.
There's no bubble to save you this time.
Bryce says, yeah, disagree. Yeah, I don't get how you can't. Bill Middlebrook says Seattle's GM is going to look like a genius when he gives picks for Wilson to the Texans and keeps Harrison Fant and probably one of the picks, so ultimately they swap QBs, game players, and capital. And I think that could happen.
Maybe the last good move the Seattle GM did. I'd like to know. You traded 3 first-round picks for a safety who can only play in the box.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean Jamal Adams. He's been
not to mention you pay the safety linebacker money.
What do you mean?
Jamal Adams.
Oh, okay. I mean, at the time before the contract, he was playing fantastic, but since then he's just
but he was also playing. He was also playing on one of the worst teams in the NFL.
That's true too. That's a very good point.
That's like being a shutdown. It's like it's like the anti-Revis, because Revis just locked everyone down,
mm-hmm.
and then he went to the Patriots. Oh, what did he do? He fucking locked everyone and their mother down too. Why? Because he's elite. Yeah,
well, he's one of the best corners of all time. Ryan says, I was very happy that baseball is back until I realized that 1, I'm a Phillies fan, and 2, Freddie Freeman is probably going to the Dodgers. Yeah, Ryan, I said it a couple days.
Look at it from this point of view. Freddie Freeman won't be in our division.
Yeah, but still, Dodgers are going to probably win another title. And I said it when a couple days ago when the report came out that the Los Angeles Dodgers were interested. I texted my buddy who's a Dodgers fan. I'm like, oh, well, congratulations on getting Freddie Freeman. Because, as soon as the Dodgers are interested in someone, they're going to.
Atlanta's aggressive, too. I've already heard reports they're going to try and get Matt Olson from Oakland.
Ooh, I like that.
So
not for us, but I like it.
Yeah. I mean, we're going to do something. I think it's either Schwarber or Bryant.
Chris Bryant all day.
Dodgers might not lose again. Probably not.
They also thought the same thing last year, and then they choked in the fucking playoffs.
Well, that was their stigma for a couple years, right? To where they got to, what was it, 3 straight World Series, and they won 1 out of the 3, right? It was something like that. Yeah, so there was that stigma. So
I think it was I don't think it was 3 straight World Series. I think it was 3 straight championship. NLCSs. Okay. Maybe it was that. Maybe you're right. Oh, wait. No, you are right. I'm sorry. You're right. Yeah, you get to. Because we always talk about why can't they get it?
Get over the hump. Yeah. Well, the thing is too, since now that they've gotten over the proverbial hump per se, I think they'll be fine. It's just they'll be just fine. Bill Middlebrook says, Pete, who cares? I said now, gave players a pick at a younger franchise QB. I'm sure Watson would love to throw to Lockett and Metcalf rather than Smith and Rieger. Yeah, no, and yeah, Ryan agrees. I'm not against
like that. That's obvious, but like you also have to have a smart GM who's able to make that trade, and that Seattle general manager is not shown to be one of those.
He's pretty good. He's pretty good.
I mean, what is he orchestrating in the last few years? Like you had to. Let's think of it this way: you had to make that Russell Wilson trade because you fucking screwed the pooch the last 4 years and trying to build this team against Russell Wilson.
Legion of Boom, Wilson, Metcalf, and a Super Bowl isn't.
I'm talking lately. This is not.
Oh, I mean, he still drafted good players, but
no, he has. But like he turned the team down the toilet in the last 3 or 4 years. Like,
I mean,
not many GMs are able to do it for a decade plus. Like,
yeah, so that's impressive in and of itself. They should have.
I know a guy who's done it.
I mean, they should have 2.
I'm just saying it's few and far between when you find people like that. So
yeah,
it's hard.
So, real quick, I know we'll get on to football in a moment. Get back to the poll question. Todd says he's not worried, and he also says, "What's up?" Yeah,
what's up, man?
There's no reason to be worried. It's one game. I said it a million times.
Act like you've been here before. Just seriously.
Yeah, exactly. Act like you've been. Well, that's like saying act like you've been here before. That's like the Flyers. It's like acting like the Sixers when they won that playoff series and they started shooting confetti and whatever. Remember that a couple years ago?
When it wasn't a series, it was one game, Jake.
Is that what it was?
Yeah, it was. They were down 3-1 to Boston.
Are you sure? No, I thought it was one.
Are you talking about the Bellinelli shot?
Yes, it was against the Celtics.
Oh, is that what that was? Oh,
yes.
I thought it was when they won a playoff series.
No, they were down big against the Celtics, and he hit the shot that was supposed to win them the game, except his foot was on the
2-pointer. Yeah.
And
they had to go to overtime, and they lost, right?
Right. I do.
I just remember him in the Bellinelli in the corner.
I miss Bellinelli. I'm not gonna lie to you.
Oh,
like he would take the most like random, unnecessary shots, but when they went in, you lost your mind, and that's why I liked him because he took shots from anywhere.
I mean, nothing will ever beat the Spencer Hall's turn around, step back 3.
Mm-hmm.
That's my favorite Sixers shot ever.
That's a pretty good one. I'm not gonna lie to you. That's a pretty good one. But
it's against the Cavs too.
Yeah. Where is it? Let me do this real quick. Pardon me. What'd you say?
Is it titties?
No. No. All right, so let's get into a little NFL conversation. Unless you guys have a little more to add on the Sixers conversation, but
I feel like there's a crosstalk we could discuss.
By all means, go ahead. Proceed.
Damn it, I don't know anything about lacrosse.
I mean, I do, but I was just wondering if you did. I didn't.
I know they played in Team Wolf. That's about as much as I know.
Oh my God!
And Duke is really good at it. Those are the 2 things I know.
I was hoping MLB free agency was going to be popping tonight. Like,
yeah, well,
you could break shit on here, but there's
that's what I was hoping for. But again, I was like up to the wire.
You're not going to do anything worthwhile.
I mean, I'm not even always saying the Phillies, like anything. Nothing's fucking going on.
Yeah, I was up to the wire. I was literally sitting on my
Andre Singleton or whatever his name is. He got signed tonight.
Yeah. And it looks like Clayton Kershaw is going back to the Dodgers, which is a surprise to anybody on a 1-year deal. So
yeah, the pitchers are moving first. They alluded to that even before like the stuff was going down. That most of the pitchers would probably sign early.
Yeah,
first,
which is expected. And I think you said it, Dan, to where Freddie Freeman will probably be the first pin to fall, and then everything else will just go.
Yeah, you would assume so. I feel like he would go, and then it would be. I would think Chris Bryant, because of his versatility playing all around the field, that he would go next. But I don't know. He might hold out because he probably has a lot of offers.
Well, he's just trying to recruit Chris Bryant, so there is that. Which I think that will happen. I think we will get Chris Bryant. That's just my opinion, just because of how close those two are.
Yeah.
Unless someone just brings up a ridiculous amount of money, which could also happen.
Well, and now with the universal DH, it makes sense for us because we could slide Bohm to first or put Bohm as a DH, and then Chris Bryant could play third, which they would still need to get another outfielder.
Joe, what are you talking about? We just got to have a lockout. Can
what
we talk
are
about
they supposed to do? Like literally tell me what.
Joe, what
the fuck?
Joe, we just got to have a lockout. What are we talking about?
Like 90. Come on, like don't be a dumb fuck. Like, come on now, like
90 fucking days.
Yeah, Joe said, can we talk about how the
3
Phillies
months.
did nothing this offseason and they're going to win between 78 to 86
Name me the team, like, other than like the Dodgers who've done anything in the last 90 days. Let me know.
Oh man.
With the new CBA, didn't they just extend the playoffs too?
Yes.
12.
So
12
it's 12 now.
Yep.
Awesome.
So-
More chances for the Phillies to get in.
if they don't make it this year.
See, everyone's like, man, you can't extend it to 14. I'm just like, I miss playoff baseball. I'm sorry. I don't give a fuck. You can extend it to 18 teams. I don't give a shit.
Well, it's funny too, right? Because we were talking about in our group chat for weeks, to where at least these past 2 weeks, talking about, oh, they're close to a deal. A deal's going to get done. Oh, if they don't get a deal done, the season's going to be delayed. Then they're only going to play this certain amount of games, and then like, nah, we're gonna play all.
I said it to my boy last night, and I said I knew they were going to get something done soon, because if they didn't get it done soon, they were going to miss Jackie Robinson Day, and there's no way that they were going to be able to save things.
That's a good point.
The 75th anniversary of Jackie Robinson Day.
Oh, it's the 75th anniversary too.
Yeah, that's a good call.
Oh, that's a very good
75th anniversary.
Put some respect on that history. I hear you, Pete.
It's a very good point.
Exactly. Boy,
Money.
maybe one day we'll all do.
That's big money. The revenue they get for shit like that. Big.
Well, listen, the bases are bigger too. I'm just saying, girls like big bases. Girls like them big bases. But
this is where Jake is just explaining that he has a fat ass.
You said it, not me.
Does your girlfriend like your fat ass?
I'm not getting into this right now.
Why are you checking out Jake's ass, Pete?
Yeah.
Well, he's saying girls like big bases, and I'm just
They like
assuming
big
that's
bases.
a metaphor for his fat ass.
You can take it whatever way you want to. But
That's what I'm saying.
let's get into free agency.
Jake dropping that pimp knowledge in baseball. He's like, that's how you get them girls in the midday games right there, boy.
No girls going to a midday game.
Oh Lord. Our next topic is brought to you by Alan Foy and the guys at eXp Realty. Looking to buy or sell a home, looking for a change of career or brokerage, contact Alan Foy of eXp Realty LLC at 302-682-8820 or visit them online at alan.foy@exprealty.com. The phone number again is 302-682-8820. So there's a million different ways we can go with this. So do you want to start at the top with the Russell Wilson trade, or we could talk about Carson Wentz? We could go to Deshaun Watson.
I guess, if you want to start like from the top, we start with Aaron Rodgers. He got his money.
Yeah, we kind of knew that was what we kind of knew that
was like the first domino, and then Denver. Like, how many years was it between Peyton Manning? Well, yeah,
Pete just talked about this too. Pete just talked.
Yeah,
about
it's ridiculous. It's ridiculous that basically in like a 5-year stretch, they're just like, fuck it.
Yeah.
But between 5 years, look how well that the Denver Broncos drafted, because every draft class I remember how Tom was in love with Jerry Jeudy. Where did he go?
Went to Denver.
Denver. Last year, we was in love with Patrick Surtain. Where did he go?
Denver.
Denver.
Was a big fan of the running back. Big fan.
Well, I
of the
mean, when
running
you
back.
keep having top 10 picks, usually those guys end up going there because they keep having.
But that's the point. It's like you know, that's what I say. When you draft correctly, I mean, hell, I wanted Hamler.
Yeah.
Out of Penn State, but where is he at? He's in Denver.
And he's
underperforming in Denver right now.
He's okay. But Javonte Williams, me and Rye were big on Javonte Williams.
I feel like my issue with Hamler is I had people try and tell me he should go in round 1, and I'm just like, get your Penn State bias out of my room.
I do like that. What do you call it, though? I do like that wide receiver out of Penn State this year, though.
Who?
Javonte Davis?
Yes.
Yeah,
okay.
he's nice.
We're only drafting Ohio State wide receivers in this room. Sorry. If you didn't go to the Ohio State, I don't give a fuck about you.
Yeah.
Or if you tore your ACL, no thank you.
Yeah.
Chris Olave definitely like
Olave or what's his name?
I needed to know like how fast he was. I knew he had the size. I knew he still had the route running in the hands. But
I didn't think he was that fast.
See, I don't really watch a lot of Ohio State, but once again, I have ties to people in Cleveland, and they were telling me how good this motherfucker was.
I'm not a big.
So I took their word for it. And then the pro days happened, and I'm like, shout out to my boy from Locked On Browns, Jeff Lloyd. Yeah, motherfucker was spitting when it came to Garrett Wilson and Chris Olave.
I don't want to get. Yeah. I do want to get back on the free agency though.
Tuesday, man, I can't wait. I'm off on Tuesday, by the way.
Are you?
Yes, I was thinking about it. I'm like, because I thought Wednesday was tampering day. I thought Wednesday was going to be tampering day, and they're like, no, it's Tuesday. I'm like, oh my god, I get to Frank Gore that shit on Tuesday.
Frank Gore that shit. You're like, yeah, I'm coming in.
Have you guys heard the story about why he dissed us?
Well, yeah, because LaShawn McCoy told him. I know
that's hilarious. Like that made me laugh. Like
LaShawn McCoy told him. It was after we traded LaShawn McCoy to Buffalo. He was like, yeah.
No, that's not why he didn't come.
What was the reason?
When he got rid of Nick Foles, when Chip traded Nick Foles, he was just like, nah, I'm not coming.
Wow.
Huh. Well, everybody can have their reason. That's still in the past. I'm looking at the future.
It's still not. It doesn't make it any less funny, Todd. I'm sorry.
I don't.
I still laugh about it at least once a year.
I don't. It's in the past for me. You know, he pulled the rug from under us. It definitely made me, hey, shoulda, woulda, coulda, but it is what it is. But for everybody out there that's rooting or thinking about Deshaun Watson, hang it up because it should already let you know that he's pulling the Russell Wilson. He's going to pick where he wants to go.
Yep.
Yeah. And as much as, draft capital or whatever you want to throw at the Texans, it's up to him if he wants to come here. Russell Wilson did not want to come to Philly. And then Seattle did not want to trade within the division. That's how he also ended up in Denver.
I'd be very curious to see what the compensation was. Because my hot take is honestly how he knew that Russ wasn't coming here, but he threw in the trade request just to be like, oh, see, guys, I tried.
Yeah, well, you have to as a GM.
Well, you're gonna place a bid in there. That's why, Seattle will compare to the other teams. He's like, hey, such and such is offering me this. I mean, we was waiting for the compensation when we saw what they got for Russell Wilson, so double that for Deshaun Watson.
Mm-hmm. What was the big appeal for Russ in Denver?
What do you mean? Well,
good offense, good offensive line, and top 10 defense.
He wanted to stay on the West Coast too. That was the big.
Yeah, that was the first thing. He wanted to stay on the West Coast.
Also not confirmed. Not confirmed, but weed is legal over there, so that might be a reason. Might be a reason.
Well, hey, they is the how am I,
Yep.
But. And for Seattle, they didn't want to play Russ in the NFC. You know.
Yep.
I mean,
So it was going to
that
be in the
another part of it
AFC.
too, yeah.
So they was, was going to be a team in the AFC.
Mm-hmm.
So, but with that no trade clause, so you're going through two obstacles. And with this whole Deshaun Watson, yeah, it might be like the Texans wouldn't mind getting rid of Deshaun Watson and send him to the NFC. So that would be one leg up. But then it all depends on Watson if he wants to come here. And right now we got too many holes. If you compare to how Denver looks to our roster, I mean, I would want to go to the Denver roster, or go to Denver too if you look at their roster compared to ours.
Yeah, it's a stocked roster.
I mean, they threw in Noah Fant, and I was like, wait, man, they just threw in Noah Fant, and then I kind of remember it was just like they're not hurting for tight ends.
No.
So that's why if you really look at that roster, even on their defense, they had a number 3 defense.
I mean, even then, like if you look at the Russell Wilson trade, they didn't give up really much aside from 2 first-round picks. I mean, Drew Lock, Noah Fant, he's okay.
So I was thinking about this because I'm like, so the Eagles made that trade, so you're giving up the 2 firsts and 2 seconds, right? Who are the 4? Like, so, and I'm assuming one of the players is obviously Hurts, right?
It would have to be, yeah.
So who are the other 3?
Fletcher Cox.
Like everybody was throwing in.
Gotta be at least like what? Cox, I would say
Sanders,
Slay.
maybe. No, I don't think you have to do Slay. You can throw Sanders in there. That would be my 3.
Well, there's
no way they trade Slay.
No. After the year that he had.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, there's no way.
No, I mean, then you talking about Seattle taking on that kind of money. I mean, we can't even get rid of Fletcher Cox, so that's not happening.
Yeah.
Ryan says Rieger. I mean, if they'll take Rieger, absolutely get the hell out of
here. I mean, he's not making much money.
Like you gotta look at it from another team's perspective. It's like, why would I want Rieger?
I mean,
already trying to get rid of
a change of scenery. For a guy like that,
I think that's what he needs. To be honest,
absolutely,
I think that's what he needs to. I think he needs to change of scenery.
Well,
could have had Calvin. Yeah,
no, we're that close. We're that fucking close.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I was like. Man, we had the deal kind of locked up, and I was kind of curious what that deal would look like.
I told my buddy about that. He was pissed. I was just like, "Are you fucking kidding me?"
Well, here's one thing I will say. I have to give like a little golf clap to the Falcons because they knew what was going on, and they're like, "All right, we're not going to fuck a team over just because."
Hot take.
Well, they really could. Well, they really couldn't because they would have been looking.
What do you say?
It's not like it can't happen. Like it's not going to happen right this second because he's suspended. But it's not like
I'll trade a 6th-round pick for him right now.
Oh, it's not like it can happen. Yeah, no, he could still get traded for sure.
Yep.
Yeah,
well, I'll trade him for a 6 right now.
It would have looked bad if they would have tried to trade him, and then all this stuff came out, and then like they would gave us the option to like redo the deal or renege on the deal because especially they knew that this was going down. So that's why they kind of like, well,
they'll probably be willing to go back on this trade too, if you think of it. Like if they were courteous enough to be like to give the Eagles like notice in terms of what the fuck was going on, I feel like this is something that like is in the pocket and like if need be, if it's not this season, obviously because of the situation, then next off season or whatever it may be.
Don't fuck with me, Bill. I see your comment. Don't fuck with me. I'm not pulling your comment up because I don't think it's
true. Doesn't that kind of show you that Howie's not fucking around when it comes to wide receiver 2 this year?
What was your question? I'm sorry.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
What'd you say?
The fact that he was willing to go all in picks or whatever for Calvin Ridley and he was going to be an Eagle.
Yeah.
Shows you that Howie Roseman's going to go balls to the fucking walls for a wide receiver 2.
Yeah, he knows we need another wide receiver.
Whether it's Allen Robinson, whether it's DJ Chalk, Christian Kirk, Amari Cooper, who's my guy. It's going to be so much fun.
I would love Allen Robinson. I really would. And
if I get
between him and Shark, I have not got off my chart. Yeah, my chart train, but
if you're getting someone like Shark,
but I would still be happy with Robinson.
Yeah, if
Jesus,
I can
people, let's talk.
Yeah.
But no, I was gonna say like I would be happy with Allen Robinson, but I'm still riding the Charger train. I still haven't heard the Jaguars signing him. This is around the time you would hear that he would have been locked up by now. So fingers crossed that he makes it to that that free agency market.
Yeah,
I have Sark as like a secondary wide receiver, so it's like if you're going out and getting someone like Chalk, you might as well go out and grab the Pascal from the Colts.
was that?
It just feels like it's supposed to happen, kind of like it was supposed to happen last year with what's his name?
T.Y. Hilton.
No.
That's another name too to keep an eye on.
The Colts QB from a few years ago. He played for the Patriots.
Oh, Jacoby Brissett.
Yes.
Yeah,
I love Jacoby.
I had that like, oh, okay, we need a quarterback who knows the system. Brissett. Oh, wait, Jacoby. He went to Miami?
Yeah, I like
to go get money. I mean, Miami pays more.
Yeah, I've even like since his college days, I've always been a fan of Jacoby. Never thought he was gonna be like a franchise guy, but he's a solid quarterback. He's a solid guy who can step in.
I mean, hell, is he a free agent or he's locked up with a team?
I think he's locked up with the Dolphins. But
all right, here's a fun one. This is from Kimberly A. Martin. The teams that I've been told have been interested in Deshaun Watson for a while and/or were closely monitoring today's grand jury: Carolina, New Orleans, Cleveland, Seattle, Pittsburgh. Philly had expressed interest, but seems to have cooled off as of late.
We'll see.
I just think I think Howie's read the room when it comes to Deshaun Watson, and I think he knows what's going on with that.
Yeah, well, I think a lot of teams too were kind of waiting to see how his trial went, and he wasn't charged, so you'll see more teams start piling.
No, I'm sure. I just think Hurts is most likely going to be your guy. Like,
yeah. This year,
unless you're getting like a cheap as fuck deal for like Jimmy G or Derek Carr
Well, I still think we're going to trade for like at least a first. We're going to get a first round in 2023.
Yep, I'll guarantee, Todd. You might as well put that in your bingo card.
I don't think we're using all three this year.
There's no
that's what I'm saying. You're going to use one of them to trade back, but to get a 2003. Like you're going somehow Howie's going to get that 2023, so he can line up at least if Hurst don't work out. At least I know I'm going to draft next year.
Yeah,
one of the damn quarterbacks.
And once free agency starts on Tuesday, it's going to be nuts.
Well, I mean, it's already been fucking nuts. Are you serious?
Well, I said it even before free agency started. I'm like, this is going to be the biggest.
Think about what's happened so far. Russ to Denver.
Yep.
Rodgers and Devontae Adams are back there. Mike Williams got fucking extended.
Yep.
Crosby got taken off the board. I was mad about that one. Max Crosby.
Yeah, Max Crosby. Godwin got franchise tagged. Khalil Mack to the Chargers.
Yep.
And Amari Cooper / DeMarcus Lawrence Taylor are going to be cut.
DeMarcus Lawrence Taylor.
I'm sorry, that's his fucking name.
Oh, Jesus.
Hey, Shannon, I love you.
Can we talk about Watson for a second? So,
yes,
I was thinking about something. Like as this whole thing came down, saying that he's whatever,
not charged, and
what do you think? Just hypothetically,
what
do you think of like the probability? And I don't think it's going to happen, but of like the Bucs getting involved.
That'd be interesting.
The Bucs. I mean,
they love problems.
They're one of them, and that's one of the teams that Watson wants to go to.
Yeah,
I mean, I just think like it would set up perfectly for him because of the weapons there.
Yep.
Like him, Carolina's still in play. Pittsburgh, that would be like that's one of those would the Texans would want to keep him in the AFC. Like that's one of those.
Yeah.
But knowing that they
rough.
like that, you got to look at for the NFC. You know, it's like, do I really want to see Watson hearing over and over again?
Well, if I'm Deshaun Watson too, and I see how loaded the AFC is, take me over to the NFC. No one's really in the NFC aside from Rodgers.
That's true.
That's what I'm saying.
Rodgers is
Yeah,
going
I mean, Tampa Bay right now, that will waive the no trade clause. It's just okay, how much compensation you willing to give
right.
to the Texans. That's what it's going to take. And with Carolina, they say they still in play, but I really think Seattle might make a play.
Seattle,
out
I
of
think, is
nowhere.
the one that's going to make a real strong push. Yeah,
I could
agree.
see that.
I mean, we just got all this draft capital.
Yeah.
But look at like if I'm a quarterback and I'm going there right now and I look at that whole situation, like they failed to protect Russell Wilson.
Mm-hmm.
And like they failed to set him up. Like if I'm a quarterback going there, I'm a little nervous.
Well, that's a conversation you need to have with their front office before. Be like, listen, if I'm coming here, you gotta protect me.
What is Watson's like? Is he getting a 20 millions as far as salary?
Something like that. But he's gonna probably want a new. He's due for a new contract after this year.
Okay, see.
So
Well, only like I haven't heard Russ already get the new contract, so I'm kind of wondering about that.
yeah, we'll see.
I still think that we would be better set in terms of what we have.
I mean, compensation wise, yeah, absolutely. It's
No,
just a
I'm
matter of-
saying like compared to Seattle, like at the end of the day.
So
Mhm.
he is a $35 million cap hit. Base salary in 2022 is $35 million and a
Okay.
$40 million cap hit.
Hmm.
He's $20 million in 2023 with a $42 million cap hit.
Mm-hmm.
And they have an out of after 2020 in 2024 that's $55.4 million. So
What's he, 26?
Yeah, he's 26. Yep.
I mean, that's the going rate for.
this is
A
true.
young stud quarterback. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I was already trying to think about like, okay, you want to redo his contract? I'm like, shit. Even if
ain't
you do
doing that.
redo his contract, yeah, it's like this.
He's still fucked.
Yeah.
When you know, yeah, it's like when you know you got 35 mil coming your way, it's like, ugh.
That's like
Yeah.
that's like when you go to get your child support lowered and you go and they raise this shit because the cost of living goes up.
Uh huh.
It's
That
like
ain't
the
Hell
one
yeah.
situation all over again.
In a way, yeah.
Yeah.
Shane Trent says, if we give 15, 16, and 19 for the number one, are you doing it? No.
Hell
No,
no.
No.
Hell
like,
no, dude.
this isn't like a quarterback. This isn't a quarterback draft. Like obviously there are quarterbacks in this draft, but I feel like this is the most this is the Jake Locker draft all over again, in my opinion, where you have a bunch of guys who aren't world beaters or set the world on fire type of guys. They're all guys with a different type of skill set who have that one thing that's special about them that you can be like, oh my God, look at this type of intangible. But that's it. It's
Yeah.
like
And we're
one
not
specific
one
thing.
piece away.
Yeah,
Like,
that's
we're
the
not-
other thing. Yeah.
We're not
Yeah,
one
like-
piece away. So like
Like if
Exactly.
this was like the hell Trevor Lawrence like a few years ago, I'd be like, yeah, fuck yeah, let's do that.
No,
Not
but
even
for
fucking
Trevor,
question.
sure.
yeah.
Yeah. but
Nah,
for
this is
Trevor,
the
that's
draft
fine.
where you just move up. Like,
You move up to get who
I'm
you
definitely
like,
trying
not
to like
quarterback.
figure out how to move up to get sauce. Like that is like a
15
certain player, like a
Mhm.
certain player you got to see that you know he kind of dropped that you know you got to snag immediately.
Yeah.
If you
And
want
there's only
sauce,
maybe
you got to get to
five
8.
of those guys in this
Mhm.
draft because it's if you see like Aiden Hutchinson drop,
Yep.
I'm not so
That's-
quite sold. I'm always back and forth
Right.
on
See,
Thibodeau.
Yeah. I like
But
Thibodeau.
Sauce definitely.
If you want sauce, you got to go to 8 or 9, in my opinion.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah,
I don't
that's
think
what I'm
he's
saying,
getting
like-
past. I don't think he's getting past.
I don't
the
want to
Jets
do
or-
that though.
I don't either.
Like if you're gonna have to trade two of the 3 that you have just to move up, I'm not doing that.
I don't know.
Like,
I'm talking about like I would do like a
package
one.
And like a
Yeah,
second-
pack like a
Yeah, I
one,
feel
a
you.
1 and a 4, a
Yeah,
1 and a
that's fine.
4.
because we need
fine.
like to
And-
echo on what you said, Todd. We need
Yeah,
like if you want to trade one of those other ones to like for 2023, we need to come away with 2 of these picks in the first round that are like starters that are instant like
hey, Jermaine
impact
Johnson.
guys. Like they gotta.
Yep,
He will
Stud.
be.
impact.
Jermaine Johnson will be there right around that 15 and 16, and See, the gamble for me is Christian Harris. If Christian Harris can go, if we can get him in number 2, that is.
I don't think. I my honest opinion is I'm still not sure if he's a first round guy. I think he's a second round guy.
Mm-hmm.
But will he be there for our second round pick? That's what I just said. I'm like, will he be there? I mean, I will trade up in the second round to go grab him. If I know I'm going to do that, then I would. Like Jermaine Johnson is my number 1 of my first picks, though.
I like Jermaine Johnson, but I love Christian Harris.
Yeah.
I love Christian Harris. Another thing is
draft tech.
Kenneth Walker's also on the way down on draft board, so he might sneak into the second.
So draft tech has us picking using all 3 picks. Mm-hmm. They have us selecting George Karafkis, whatever his name is, at 15. That's a solid pick. Derek Stingley Jr. at 16, which I think is solid.
Okay.
And then at 19, you get Garrett Wilson.
Ooh.
If that's my draft, if that's my first round draft, you know what?
I'm fine with it.
Yeah, that's a home run draft in my opinion.
Isn't Garrett Wilson coming off a knee injury though?
Yeah.
Or am I wrong?
Yeah, he can get nicked up here and there. That's why I'm looking at everybody's little mock draft. It's like everybody always fits to like certain people's teams. Like you can just see it how it falls, and I'm like, that's why I'm like, like I don't want, if we're gonna use all 3, I don't want a wide receiver. I really don't, especially if we're going how free agency gonna go.
But like if you can get like I think either of the wide receivers from Alabama.
I can get a wide receiver in the 3rd or 4th round, man. Is this wide receiver?
3 years in a row.
Too deep.
I'm cool. If Wilson or Olave are the only guys I would take.
Give me Allen Robinson in free agency.
Give me like a guy in the 3rd, and I'm fine.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I can pick a guy in the 3rd or 4th round.
I don't need one of the wide receivers, but like if I draft Chris Olave or Garrett Wilson, I'm not gonna be mad. Like I'm not there's no unhappiness in my bones.
Like, because reason being, Trayvon Walker, that combine, his stock went through the roof. I mean, the way he can move up and down that line, and just his explosiveness and his size. I mean, that's why, like, I'm sold on Jermaine Johnson. I mean, he was one of the defensive ends at Georgia, but transferred because he knew he wasn't gonna get no playing time. The tape doesn't lie, and then. Hey, I love what I was hearing him out of the combine. He was chirping like Brandon Graham. Could you imagine him and Brandon Graham?
Just that Georgia defense in general. Anyone from that Georgia defense, I'll gladly take in the 1st round.
Absolutely. I mean,
the fact that Jordan Davis ran a 4.78 at 6'6" and 340 pounds.
That's the craziest thing I've seen.
I mean, that's why I'm like, all their defensive linemen put up crazy numbers, and like the one drills I do like is like when they got to use bag drills and like their footwork drills, because you got to see how they move on their feet, and Davis is a dancing bear. I don't even. That's
insane. Insane.
It's unreal. It was just seeing how big of a man that is and moving like that. I'm like, ugh. So
and how I equate that for like defensive linemen, and Dan, I'll let you talk in a moment, but I just wanted to, like, a guy like Jordan Davis, I always imagine, like, when they're running that fast of a combine, I always imagine like just being chased by that and how scary that is.
I was just gonna say the same thing. It's like,
you know how scary that is?
Yeah.
That's so scary.
It's like that, like Rush Hour 3.
Like a nightmare when you're a kid and you're running from something. You haven't even seen the monster yet. You turn your head around and they're right on your ass.
Yeah.
Like, oh!
Yeah, that's like when Rush Hour 3, when that big motherfucker came out the closet and just hold freaking Chris Tucker with one hand. But I was like, just imagine that's running right behind you. And he can reach out, and you're just like, "Oh my god, I can't outrun his hand."
Yeah, so scary. So scary.
Yeah.
Well, that just tells you the kind of power that he has for a guy with his size running that fast. That's explosive.
Oh,
that's what you need.
That's why I look at how violent his hands are when he hits that bag, and it leaves a complete dent in it. I was like, "Oh,
yeah,
okay."
So let me ask you guys a question. I already know Pete's answer to this because he doesn't want them. But actually, I'm pretty sure Todd, you don't want them either. But if this package was offered and you're the Texans, are you accepting or not? So
What you got?
What's the package?
we would send. Now this is from literally nobody. So
Okay.
it was posted on Twitter.
Okay.
Our 16th picks, or 16. Wow, Jesus. Our 16th pick this year.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Our first round pick next year.
Okay.
A second round pick next year.
All right.
2 number 5s in this year.
Okay.
Andre Dillard
Okay.
and Miles Sanders.
It's a lot, man. That's a
So
lot.
run it by me again.
I'll do
Is
it.
it though? Is it though?
I
I don't
would.
think it's
I
a
would
lot at
do it.
all.
Run it
No,
by me
it's
again.
not.
It's
I'll do
Dillard,
it.
Sanders.
Okay, so basically,
I'm with you, Dan.
okay.
I would do
So
it.
it's a first round pick this year. It's a
Uh-huh.
first round pick next year.
Done.
It's a second round pick next year.
Yep, done.
It's 2 5s this year. Dillard and Sanders.
Done. Done. Done.
Not
Done.
good.
Yeah, I would. Now
I
that,
done,
now
done.
I don't
that's the
think
deal.
Houston does it, but
You're gonna have to give up more. That's like
He says no deal on Watson's part.
Nope.
Well, Watson.
But
doesn't play
if it,
factor
but
into that.
if that's what's in the package,
I would do it.
I'll
I
do
would
it.
take it out because
Yeah.
I still keep the 2 first rounders this
Exactly.
year. You said
Well,
it was
you're
number 15. I mean,
While you're at it,
I
you
can
can give
live
me
with that.
Brandon Cooks too. I'll throw another first round pick in there for Brandon Cooks. I'll be greedy as shit. I'll gladly take Brandon Cooks.
I'm not giving up a
Package
first
deal.
round pick for Brandon Cooks.
Well, just for the package in
and-
general of Watson.
yeah.
and
Well, okay. So if I you pretty much get Watson and Cooks back.
I'll gladly do it. But just for Watson, I'll do that too.
But yeah, that's what I was like.
yeah.
I mean, and they send back like a third or a fourth.
Yeah, whatever. I don't care.
Ironically, that's what that was the other part of this trade was
Like send a second back.
Deshaun Watson and a 2022 4th round pick.
Deal.
So that,
Yeah.
good call, Todd.
Deal.
I would see, man. I know how to fucking y'all remember playing Madden 2001, 2002. How hard
Gotta
it
make
was
the
to
trade
trade in that bitch. Yeah,
says
boy,
take
you gotta do
32.
some work. See,
Well,
I'm always seeing people when they offer trades like, oh, DK Metcalf was in the first round. I was like, God damn, y'all don't even haggle no more, man. Y'all just
Like, all right.
Yeah.
first rounder here. Fuck
Yeah.
them picks. You got them, man. Shit.
I mean, you might
I
have
don't
to, and Munn said it earlier, you might have to put Hurts in there too. You're probably going to have to.
Oh, and that's fine.
Oh,
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
why wouldn't you?
I
What is he
mean,
doing here? He's just
yeah, I
sitting-
mean,
Yeah,
yeah,
he's
you
just
can't,
sitting on the
you
bench. You
can't,
have to.
yeah, you can't fit on the backup. So okay, and
Like-
throw Hurts in there.
You'd be like, all right, you got a young, inexpensive quarterback.
you
who
could
you're
probably take
gonna have to
Miles
pay.
out of that trade. Honestly,
No.
He can stay.
No,
He can stay.
no.
I'm
I
just
would
saying,
keep-
like hypothetically, like he wouldn't need to stay in that trade if Hurts.
He
is
wouldn't
there.
need to, but I mean, I don't know. He's already frustrated because the Eagles aren't going to pay him. So if you saw his
well,
tweet the
you
other
can't
day.
be frustrated. Dude,
league,
what's your
man.
production?
No, I'm
Your-
with you. I'm with you.
Yo, injury prone, man. Sorry, you've been
You
injured.
can't stay healthy. You got talent.
And-
Just can't stay healthy.
Hey, at least no, Pete. What did Christian McCaffrey do to get the bag?
Yeah.
What did he do? Because
Never.
hey, didn't somebody tweeted about Christian McCaffrey and talking about how to get the bag? I remember that.
He got the bag, and now he's always injured.
Yeah, he's always hurry.
Exactly.
That bag's a little bit too heavy for Christian.
But
He's like, I
was
secured that shit, but now I'm hurt.
Yeah.
but that's the point. Christian McCaffrey did what it took to get the bag.
Listen, he got the
wheels
bag,
fell off.
and
The wheels fell off.
His girlfriend's a smoke show, though.
Yes.
Hey,
My
that's
goodness.
what happens when you get the bag. And so Miles Sanders did not get the bag. I mean,
No.
Did not.
He did not get the bag.
and you can't say he didn't have his moments because
He had every opportunity to seize it.
And
I mean, I remember like
especially
what
this
was his
year, he
rookie
didn't.
year? like his rookie year, we was going into that playoff for the Giants game, and he was supposed to have like a big game, and when he ran the ball a couple of times, it looked like it, but he got hurt.
And then he got hurt. Yep. So
I can't feel no sympathy. You can pout all you want to about not getting any money, but your production says it all.
So they counted how many questions they asked Watson during the hearing, right? They asked him 150 different questions, right?
Holy shit.
He pleaded the fifth 150 times.
Hey, not guilty.
That's not surprising, though.
Yeah,
like, it's a legal matter.
It's not, but I'm just like, but he was talking about after the trial. He's like, "Oh man, the truth will set you free." I'm like, "Bitch, what truth?"
Yeah, but like part of like the whole.
It's called being black in the courtroom, man. You ain't gonna say shit.
I mean,
I just think of the Dave Chappelle skit.
Exactly. That's what you ain't, man. You are black and you in the courtroom. Don't say shit.
Say nothing.
Yo, you let the lawyer do all the motherfucking talking.
That's how. Yeah, that's basically how it goes. Lawyers in the you don't say anything.
How justice work is not worked on the stage. It's worked behind the doors, man. You just shut your mouth and don't say shit. This ain't no movie where you have like a giant ass conversation or a speech and you get off the hook. Man, look at Jesse Smollett. Look at that. The judge even had him a little moment.
Jesse incriminated himself.
I mean, that's not it. That's not it.
He's just a fucking idiot.
He's just an idiot. Yeah,
he's just a moron.
An idiot. He's just an idiot.
Look,
he killed his
but
career.
Even him. But
there's
even
like
what he did. But what he do in that courtroom, he shut the fuck up.
Well, what else do you have to say? Like they have video proof of him lying
and hiring those two guys.
Like there's nothing to say. You're just like you're.
But that's the point.
I don't think that that's getting, not to like get like into different topics, but I don't think that fucking story is getting enough fucking airtime.
But
because everyone knows
like no matter what
2 years, that's why.
Yeah.
Unless your name was Johnny Cochran, what you do in that courtroom, you sit there and shut the fuck up and don't say nothing. Unless they call you up there to actually say something or have to wear a glove that you know that can't fit. Hey, I'm like this. Look at OJ. Did OJ say anything during that whole thing? No.
Yes, he did.
Listen,
unless he got called on.
You could say what you want to, and everyone has their opinion. But he's a phenomenal follow on Twitter. He's a phenomenal follow.
OJ, absolutely.
Oh my god, it's great.
Absolutely,
it's so funny.
My favorite thing about OJ will always be because he's the dumbest motherfucker on the planet. He's the dumbest motherfucker on the planet.
He lives in Florida. And he
well, here's the thing. Day. So you get off the crime of the century, right? And this is why I love Wall right here. So he gets away with the crime of the century.
Uh-huh.
And then they take away his Heisman, right? Because he lost the lawsuit against the people he allegedly killed.
Oh, yeah.
So he's in the room with the people, right? And at that point, so he takes out the gun. And he's just like, no. And in one moment, he puts himself away in jail for 15 years. Because he utters the phrase, no one's going anywhere.
Yeah.
You turned an illegal firearm charge into a kidnapping charge in one sentence.
Mm-hmm.
Well, shit happens. So well.
But my favorite thing, and then we'll move on because I want to get to Habib's comment because I saw it earlier. But my favorite thing in every Twitter video, he's like, "Hey, Twitter world, it's yours truly." Like we don't, we don't know who
you shouldn't be in jail right now.
Yeah.
What the fuck?
I mean, he's trying to be part of this new access to
so funny
to the people.
Just go away. Just go die in the corner.
There's nothing else. There's nothing else really to say. I mean, you can't be like what's his name, Kobe Covington. What up, nerds?
He lives in a nice private community in a condo right off a golf course in Florida. He's chilling.
If I were him, I wouldn't have been a pussy with my book. I would have been like, yeah, I killed the bitch. Double jeopardy.
Well, if you looked at his interview, he's like, if I did do it.
Well, that was the name of the book. That was the name of the book.
Yeah, he goes into the whole detail. Like if I did do it.
That's the name of his book. I'm not saying I did it, but if I did, this is how I would have done it. I'm like, dude, you know you're guilty. Like, I would have just gone full heel. I would have been like, it's like, yeah, I did it. Here's my book.
It was me all along.
Relax over there, Stone Cold.
You remember that?
The
It
higher
was
power.
me, Austin. It was me all along.
The best. But getting to Habib's comment,
What-
he's like, "What do you guys think
Huh?
about Carson coming back to the NFC East, seeing him 2 times a year, and seeing Ben Simmons 4 times next year?"
Ben Simmons will miss every game he plays the Sixers.
Well, until we see Ben Simmons play, I mean, I don't want to hear nothing about that one.
It's a
But,
guaranteed
with Carson,
4 forced fumbles
Yeah, it's
a
2
year. I mean,
Well, I mean, listen, the Eagles will be
2
catching
forced
passes.
fumbles.
The Eagles will be
yeah.
catching passes from Carson again. So, let
but
him
this
not
is
even-
with Carson. This is where I'll break it down, because what are you hearing about him leaving Philadelphia and the Colts? That's the same. The leadership in the locker room, and how he accepts, or how he likes to be coached, or how he feels that he needs to be coached.
Mhm.
And this is, I mean, you don't just move to 3 teams or land on a 3rd team within a year and a half of the time.
Yeah.
I mean,
thought
I
guys
don't.
were going out of their way to say shit about Carson, though.
Well, did you
It's
see
he
the thing that
splits
came
locker
out?
room.
Did you see the
No,
thing
no,
that
that's
came
the
out
point.
today? The thing came
No.
out today about that.
Yeah, supposedly he was talking shit to some of the other injured players about the Super Bowl run, and Darren Sproles basically tried to choke him out.
Yeah,
Oh, on
Darren
the
Sproles
Eagles.
can.
Yeah.
Darren
I'm
Sproles
talking about
confronted him
Indy,
and
though.
basically told him to shut the fuck up.
Well,
Yeah.
I've heard similar things out of Indy.
Yeah.
No, but the one what I'm basically alluding to was what's his name? Oh my god.
Darius Leonard.
Yeah, he I mean, I don't feel like guys go out of their way to post shit.
Yeah,
on-
but like that's just Darius Leonard. Like he's just trying
He's
to. Like,
also one of the leaders on the team. So
exactly.
You
I
kinda have
expected
to-
nothing less from Darius Leonard.
but he didn't need to do it. That's what I'm
No,
saying.
no, I
He
get
didn't
you.
need to, but like that's just who Darius Leonard is. He's just gonna like.
But no,
the-
I find it hard to believe, though. I really do. Like,
he just splits locker rooms. I mean, there's certain ways that he does, like, they doing good for, like, overall trying to do good for the locker room. It's just how he can come off at times, or he puts his foot in his mouth a little
he
bit
just
too
doesn't.
much.
He just doesn't give a fuck. Like it's very evident at this point. He just cares about the football side. Doesn't really give a fuck about anyone else.
Like the
which is
personnel.
fine. Like
Yeah.
you're Tom Brady in that shit. But like,
Well, he's not a
Brady-
guy that goes out either. He doesn't go out or anything like that. He just kind of keeps
Also,
to himself.
what the fuck is he hunting in Washington? Republicans? Like, come on now. Like, Jesus Christ.
They
Like,
have a good what do you call it? They have a good deer hunting thing in Washington.
I guess.
Yeah, man. Dude, man, it's still on the south, man.
You can absolutely hunt there. No
Oh,
question.
Yeah, Virginia got mountains too, bro.
Oh, Virginia, yeah, you can hunt for days in Virginia. That's
Yeah,
basically the
so-
South.
In Washington,
Virginia's
We'll have,
big,
we'll
man.
have no problem hunting.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
it won't be an issue.
Come on, man. Like, come on.
It's just a matter if he's going to be there for more than a year, which I don't think. But
I think
man,
this is his last stop.
this is the thing. A guy with plenty of arm talent. I mean, it's just amazing finding gigs. But look at it. I mean, we all marveled at how when Carson's on, he's on. I'm not. We done admired his throwing abilities, done seen the deep ball and everything, but you can't make it in this league just off of arm talent alone. That's my whole thing. Is how do you prepare for your opponents? Are you reading the defense correctly, making the right decisions? I mean, and look how long he's had. He had 6 years, guys. 6.
So you missed the one big thing though. So here's my thing with Carson, and I agree with everything that you just said.
Mm-hmm.
I think the downfall of him was, for one, that injury that he had.
Oh,
And after he came back from the injury, because he was never the same quarterback mobility wise.
he was
ever.
Yeah, he was never the same. Nope.
He's like mobility wise, he's a shell of himself.
Yeah.
Now, don't get me wrong, he was never a burner, but like he was Ben Roethlisberger-esque in terms of like being really elusive in the pocket and doing shit like that. I mean, we saw it.
But here's the thing. Oh, go ahead.
No, you're good.
No, I was just we knew that year following. I mean, I know he came back too early because the whole Nick Foles, and like I said, yeah, we had our hand in it by keeping Nick Foles. We try to play that whole backup quarterback, but you can't bring in the guy or keep a guy on the team that won you the Super Bowl and telling him that he has to be the backup and you trying to get your spot back. And of course, everybody's, especially in Philly, was still living that high off the Super Bowl. Yep. So that I know it played into his mindset, but he fully healed. But if you got all the arm talent in the world, what was his main problem? Holding on to the ball too long, knowing that your mobility is kind of shot, you still didn't develop in the pocket. Like that's one thing that we was starting to love. We loved how he got the ball out instantly, and then when those shots open, he would take them. But I agree with you that did play a hand to it. But you're going to a new team with your old coach, your old mentor, like that's like you're supposed to be flush that out your system. You know. So that's why I'm like,
I'm just saying, he can't be mobile anymore. Like it's a wrap.
Yeah.
Like in terms of him being what he was when he obviously age plays a factor, but injuries also. Like he can't be what he was when he initially came in this league. It's just it's not there. So he needs to adjust his game if he's going to have any success, and he's going to stay a starting quarterback in this league.
We judging hard on, freaking Jalen Hurts for it's only going to be his third year.
But he doesn't have the same arm ability. He doesn't have the same arm ability. We could have this argument all day.
You be able to make read the defense and make sure you get getting the ball to the open guy.
Either Hurts. I mean, I'll argue with you all day.
It's like you talking about a guy that's been in the league for 6 years. Compared to a guy that's only been in the league for 3 years.
Yeah, but
and
look what Wentz did his second year.
See, we put in that scale sometimes too high, but
that was his second full year as a starter.
Oh my god! All right,
I'm not even like the leader. I'm not even like a huge Hurts fan. I'm interested to see where he is after.
Yeah, we'll see what happens with him next year.
One of them, you can't compare the both of them in terms of
two different styles. Two different
styles.
Hurts is a running quarterback. Like it's at the end of the day, that's what it is.
Who's to say that Jalen doesn't take a big?
But here's the thing. I mean,
maybe he does.
Where you're saying that arm talent, and I'm just saying, okay, we're praising about arm talent. Carson Wentz has all the arm talent in the world, but he still can't get the job done. We try to put more. We put Hurts, like we have higher expectation for Hurts of trying to about his arm talent, and I'm like, yo, if he comes out, we build the roster and actually gets him a number 2, and he still fails, and okay, we already know that, but it's amazing that Carson Wentz is still getting all these chances. That's why I'm like, to me, Carson Wentz is like Jeff George. You praise his arm talent and you keep taking chances on a guy that for his arm talent and hope that he breaks his feeling. But
I agree.
No, he ain't.
I mean, right now he's Bradford. Yeah, no, I agree. Right now he is.
I mean, that's fair. It's just like the Hurts thing. I've seen it. I've seen it in college.
Mm-hmm.
I've now seen it for a year and a half or whatever, a year plus.
I mean, he's gotten better every year he's played.
He hasn't gotten better throwing the ball, but that's
my only caveat to, or I guess my only rebuttal, I should say, is that throughout his entire playing career, talking about Jalen Hurts, he's never had the same coach in back-to-back seasons. So we'll see what happens when he comes in.
It'll be his first time ever with the same coach and the same coordinator.
Offense, Mm-hmm. So we'll see. I mean, he should.
I told you guys I was willing to give him another year. I'm not saying but I'm going to be hard on him because guess what? I've watched him in fucking college. I don't care who you've had as a quarterback. It's happened to other guys in the past, and they still performed.
Mm-hmm.
I want to see.
I want to see to blow out this year.
I want to see. I want to see more from you. Trust me. I want him to turn into Todd what you think he's going to be, because at the end of the day. Like I've said in the past, it's good for us because it's going to be low salary on a quarterback.
Yep.
Yeah.
So we can add pieces elsewhere.
Yeah, but that's why you got to go out.
Yeah, but most likely too, you're going to have to pay him after this year too, because it's his.
Yeah, I mean, but that's
After
that's
this
why
year,
this
he's
season
going to be
is
entering
so
his last
important
year.
because I'm like, this is our opportunity to at least build up the roster to have it at least decent. I mean, that's what the Denver Broncos roster is at least as decent on both sides of the ball. We don't really, I mean, we can add a couple of depth pieces on, offense, but there's really no major holes.
I mean,
On defense, we're
line,
just holy and Swiss cheese. Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead, Jake.
No, you're good. You're good. Like, yeah, and you don't need the offensive content. Get me another wide receiver too. I think we're good there. Offensively, we're fine. Our offensive line's set. Yeah, you just focus on defense. Just focus on defense, and I think you'll be fine.
It's 100% accurate because, like, obviously you need a wide receiver too, and you can most likely get that in free agency, either through free agency or a trade.
Yeah.
But like, I'm not Elliott Shore Parks. I'm not like looking at the defense like, oh, it's fine. It was in the top 10. Yeah, because the first 10 games, the first half you played shitty or a great quarterback, and then the second half you played shitty fucking quarterbacks. That's why your defense magically got fucking better. Like, I'm not dumb enough or naive enough to look at that defense and be like, oh my god, it's a top 10 defense. My ass.
And you saw what happened when we went against Brady.
Exactly. Like, I saw what happened every time they went up against a good quarterback. They lost and got embarrassed. And every time they went against bad quarterbacks, especially in the division or guys who shouldn't even be in the fucking league, they beat that ass.
Well, like, that's why, to reel it back to free agency, look at that complete circle. It all depends on how we attack the free agency. Like, for me, as the way this free agency is shaping up, I know I need a safety. I'd rather get two safeties. Because it seems like either you get Kyle Hamilton or I feel as though I can wait in the mid rounds to get a safety because I love Smoke Monday. I love Nick Cross, so it's like, unless you want Kyle Hamilton, there's no really reason to draft.
There's no way Kyle Hamilton's going to be there, unfortunately.
Yeah. So I'm like, I'm good with that. So I'll get two free agent safeties. I like Reed and go with the big splash and Marcus Williams. That'll be your tandem in the backfield.
And Marcus Williams is only 26, I believe.
Yeah, that's why I'm like, I'm trying to keep the defense young. You pay the certain guys to keep them around. If you can get J.C. Jackson, I mean, pair him up with Slay and then still draft a corner.
JC.
I would say
you're gonna have to make him the highest paid corner in football. That's what he's gonna.
That's the kind of conundrum. Yeah, that's the conundrum that we're in because even in this draft, the cornerback position is still to me kind of top heavy. Like I'm only seeing like a couple of guys that may pop in the later rounds. I'm still haven't found like that hidden gem yet.
I like Andrew.
I'm still looking at.
I like Andrew Booth a lot,
but he's going in the first round.
Well, I mean, he'll be
got 3 first-round picks, Todd. It's okay.
He'll be right around our spot, and you want to talk about an athletic, talented corner. He's so good.
Like, that's how I'm like, how we attack this free agency will really to help smooth out how we can really go on this draft.
Give me Booth and Ojabo in the first round, and I go home happy.
I really like Ojabo. Even though he's played for only 3 years, I like him a lot.
I like him too, but I just if it's him or Jermaine Johnson on the board, I'm taking Jermaine Johnson.
Oh, I'll take Jermaine.
I have no issue with Jermaine Johnson. I just think Ojabo has a higher ceiling.
I know they're high on Ojabo. I do know that.
Well, how can you not be? He's phenomenal.
They are very high on Ojabo, so we'll see.
For me, Ojabo is like that can boom or bust. Like that's how I look at him. Either because he's raw, and then on number 2, like he's still got to bulk up. I'm like I need some impact guys now. Like I'm getting tired of like somewhat project players. I'm like I need guaranteed. That's why I'm like, yo, if you give me any of those damn Georgia defensive Bulldogs, I'll be on the line. Hey,
I
I'm
don't
good.
really like. I'm not as in love with Burks as everyone else is.
I
but,
love Traylon Burks.
but like
I'm
once
a fan
again,
of Burks.
if I come away with this draft and I ended up drafting either the Ohio State kids,
Oh yeah, I'm fine.
backflips.
Another guy who's falling down the boards too is Michi out of Alabama.
Yep, I think he's going to be. I think he's going to be like a 3rd round pick, in my honest opinion.
If he goes to the 3rd round and he's still there, I'll take him in a second.
Yeah.
Even if he falls to the 2nd round, I'll still take him.
Yeah, because
I'm not drafting Jameson in the 1st round. I don't give a fuck what anyone says.
Yeah.
Can I read you guys a tweet?
Go ahead.
Bro.
This is from John Kincaid.
Okay.
Oh, great! So we know this is going to be great.
Actually, you'll probably love it. So I don't know what you're complaining about, but
I'm not a big Kincaid guy.
Go ahead.
I don't mind them. Will an organization that celebrates female empowerment with the most female VPs in the NFL really make a deal for Deshaun Watson?
Oh,
That's actually,
I don't think the Eagles will.
that's actually a good point. But
It is a good point. It's a very good point.
my argument with that is it's less like obviously the woman aspect is huge. My part of that is a team that puts so much emphasis and belief in culture, willing to go out and get a guy who will. Because remember, we just got away from a guy who divided the locker room. You're gonna have a lot of motherfuckers divided in that room.
I mean, Andy did it before though, and it was the
And
same
we were
thing.
fine.
yeah,
Yeah.
Michael
It was the
Vick.
same thing. Like,
Yeah,
but
but Vic was like basically your 4th-string guy making pennies.
I mean, they brought him in for the backup essentially. I know he was.
He took control of the situation, but I don't think anyone expected that. I think they expected Kevin Cobb to be their starter.
Yeah. Yep. No, I know what you're saying, but again, it's a fair point. It's definitely a fair point, but I don't know.
We're just in that position where it's just one of those. Do you know what you're doing it for if you want to get Watson?
Yep.
But as far as
you're ready to deal with
knowing that you're a pioneer as far as the female empowerment goes. It will definitely be a weird atmosphere, and you just don't want that where it could go left or right. I mean, I know that he's got to do a lot of PRing. I mean, that's the.
Oh yeah, for sure.
If you're a female scout, do you even feel comfortable being in that building with him? Like, I don't know if I could.
I mean, at the end of the day, it's still your job.
I understand.
I get where you're coming from.
I understand that.
I get where you're coming from, Pete, but. Yeah,
that's what I'm saying.
That's a lot to ask from an employment situation.
Well, y'all deal with
I'm
that
sure knowing
that's not even cancel culture. That's someone with 27 cases of sexual harassment.
But that's the point.
Yeah,
like,
but if all this stuff goes away, then it's all for nothing.
Yeah,
it's water under the bridge. Yeah,
like that's the way you need to look at it. Unfortunately,
that's how they're going to look at it.
I mean, the Eagles might not look at that, but like their female employees might not look at it that way.
Oh, sure.
Trust me, I understand where you're coming from.
That's asking a lot.
It is, but I mean.
I just can't see, in my honest opinion. Like, I don't think he's coming here, and B, I just don't think Howie's going to do it. It's easy to say that, but it's just like I think we've built a culture here. I think we've built one that because we've never tolerated guys like this before. We've never brought them in. Like, obviously, look, the Mike Vick thing is the outlier, obviously, but once again, that was pennies on the fucking dollar, and you threw something to the wall and something stuck.
Yeah.
But also Mike Vick is also the one in a billion people who rehabilitated himself from the ground up.
Well, we didn't know that at the time.
No, we didn't. But that's what I'm saying. It's like out of all the people who have had situations like that, he's the only one I can say
changed his life. I agree.
Completely.
100%.
But it's
I just don't need it. I don't need the distractions. I don't need everything that goes along with it.
Yeah, we'll see.
But like, I'm always like, on the other hand, the way that package looked, I mean, shit, is I could do that kind of package.
Discussions are going to happen. We know that.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
conversation.
Issue.
Yeah,
I mean, well, he was an issue in the locker room. It just wasn't a football one.
Eh,
And that's why I'm like, hey, from the football aspects, yeah,
Mr. Wing, there are 27
you,
women who do not speak very highly of him.
I mean, shit, 99 problems, but a bitch ain't one.
I mean, there's
you can say
27
that
women
too.
that probably don't speak highly of me either.
Exactly. I mean,
Why not for the same reason? Make that fucking clear.
I'm happy you kind of went back.
Daniel,
at that.
there is a difference between an asshole, which we can all be from time to time. Everyone has that woman who will call us an asshole.
Mhm.
And 27 different women saying he did something.
hey, I'm not going to speak on it because the times we're living in, it's.
Yeah, I'm not
I mean, like, it's because sometimes, you can. Because how would you feel if you find? No, I'm like this. What if it was a money grab? I mean, I'm not. That's why I don't want to go down that road.
Nope.
Then he would have just paid them off. If that was all, if that's all they were looking for.
Why would he pay him off if it wasn't guilty?
Yeah, no.
If it was a money grab, why would he pay him off?
People do it all the time. Kobe did it.
No.
Kobe did it.
Dude, if I had millions, are you fucking kidding me? If I had millions of fucking dollars and I had 27 women saying that I fucking showed them my shit or I did something and I didn't fucking do it, am I paying them?
That's not true, Mr. Wing. That's not
out
true.
of here, man.
Don't say shit like that. That's not true.
No, the FBI is investigating them.
Yeah,
but like seriously, you like think about what I just said. Like if you like at the end of the day, if you have all that money, okay, and you have 27 women accusing you of doing something that you didn't do, you're gonna pay them off.
Oh, no shot. No
Fuck
shot.
no.
No shot.
Oh, Habib, I would still draft Lindenbaum all day. He's a top 10 talent.
Do we still draft Lindenbaum?
Yeah, he's a top 10 talent. I don't even think twice about it.
Yeah, I would.
Kelsey's probably done after this year.
That is an elite prospect.
But for me, I can think about football like that. I was like this. Because knowing that we're gonna have Isaac and we signed him, we're gonna have to keep Isaac, and he's still done.
He only has like 1 year left
side of the line. That's why I'm like this. Yo, I'm not trying to make Dickerson as my center.
Yeah, no,
so I'm not gonna do that.
I'm not.
I think he only has 1 year left, so you can trade Isaac if you wanted to.
If you wanted
but
to,
I don't.
But I mean, he's not making any money.
He's been brought. I remember when we brought him in. We've been grooming him to be the center, and this is the perfect time. This is like a year to where he's.
Yeah, we've never actually watched him play center though. Like that's the thing though. Like
here's where
he don't took center snaps when Kelsey got hurt.
He did before.
I don't even care about that, Todd.
Long term.
Yeah, but here's my thing. I agree with Todd in the sense that you look at these guys when they come in and they work under Howard Mudd. At the end of the day, they just know how to play. Most of them, if they've played a position in the past, they get it down and they know their shit, and it just works.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So I agree with Todd to the extent like if I don't have to go out and as much as like he's a stud and I'd love to draft him, if I can slide somebody that's already been here and you're not gonna have to sign him to a big deal.
Yeah,
I mean he's already not. He's not. I mean, like all you're gonna do is because we just made Kelsey the highest paid center. We'll redo Isaac's contract to where he'll get some money, but he don't really have to be that number one center. And then on number two, I mean, yes, Lindenbaum is he's a phenomenal freak, but we got the number one offensive line coach in the league, man. He took a 7th-round Australian player that never played football and got him to pro. We talking about all pro.
Like he looks
caliber,
like a monster.
Yeah. What do you think he can do with a generational center?
He wouldn't have to do it.
I mean, it might not be necessary. Like that's what I'm saying.
It's not necessary.
You could take that kid.
It's not necessary. That's what we're saying, Pete.
It has nothing, but I don't think it has anything to do with being necessary. Like if you have a chance to get an elite player at 15, 16 who could go 8 or 9 or even 7, depending on certain drafts,
I take him. If he's your
But
best
that's the
player on the
point.
board,
End of
go
the
get
day,
him.
It's a
center.
waste of a
It's a
pick,
center.
man. It's like
who cares?
it truly is a waste of a pick because
I don't see that.
if you got a coach that can morph and like we taking guys completely that you
Take a
sixth
guy out of the
round
6th,
or
7th round and
project.
make him play.
How many
Yeah, and
generational
then
centers are we talking about?
Right.
like, and that's what I'm saying. Like a generational center. Like, how's
No.
that sound, bro?
I mean, we
Like,
don't
that
have
means-
Jason Kelsey's not going to be here anymore, and
He's
Okay,
more known
and
for
Jason Kelsey was a
his
sixth-round
talking and like leadership. Like, yeah, he's a
I'm
fucking dog
Mr.
on the
Wing.
he's dog,
I'm
he's a
out
dog
here
on the
looking to
field.
draft great players. Tyler Lindenbaum is a great player.
He is a great player, but it's not necessary. If we,
It's like
If he's the
dude,
best
we-
player on the board, I see no problem in drafting him. He's the best player.
See, that's the point. Like, you can't just look at. See, that's analytical. If you
It's
just
not
trying to
analytical.
look
I
at
go
the
with
best player, why
available.
not
When
look
you're
at
trying
the
we have
best?
so many
you
more
are
needs.
Let me
in
talk,
there.
man. Jesus, let me talk, man. It's like this, yo. You could. It's all about taking the best player, but also filling a need, man. Is because that's where we're at. We're like in the first round. You should be the best at your position when it comes to first round talent. We got that, but now you got to supplement. Okay, I need the best player, but I also need it for this position. Like,
Right.
okay, if Lindenbaum or let's say, for instance, Aiden Hutchinson dropped for some
Theoretically,
reason.
yeah. Okay.
And then you have Sauce, all three right there. Are you going to take the center?
No, because I don't. I would have those two guys over him because I
So-
have them higher on my board. However, I do have Lindenbaum in my top 10. So if I was able to get him at 15, I would take that because that's immense of value.
So
No,
I'll play devil's advocate.
yeah.
play
Let's
devil's advocate real quick.
let's have some
So-
fun with this one.
Let's say, so going back, for example, when the Cowboys drafted CD Lamb, did they need him? No, but it makes their strength even stronger. And that's how I feel with Lindenbaum. However, that being said, we have an offensive line coach who's arguably one of the best ever to do it. And you can
their number
take
two?
guys out of the 6th, 7th, 5th round and make them into legitimate players. And I mean,
we can still keep Nate Herbig, and I love what Nate Herbig did, and Jack Dressel.
Mhm.
I'm like,
I like Jack a lot, but he always gets hurt. That's my issue with Jack. I like Jack a lot, though.
yeah, and yeah, that's the Achilles heel. But I'm looking. That's why I'm like, you can't only carry but so many offensive linemen, and you talking about drafting a first round center. Like, he only plays center.
Yeah, I know what you're saying, but like my thing, like at least with me, the past couple of years, whenever it's always in the late rounds. They'll always draft an offensive lineman late, and I'm like, oh, he can play.
Yeah.
I don't even need to think about it. 6th, 7th round, I'm like, all right, he can play. Cool. I got my guy.
Like,
We're good.
we got other teams poaching off of our practice squad. That's why I'm like, if you draft him, then you. Well, I know we still haven't re-signed Nate Herbig, but that's why I'm like, that's a player I want to bring back because
I'd bring him back. I'd bring Scott back.
Yep.
It looks like Jordan Howard's coming
keep
back. He'll
some
come back
guys
on
that-
the
Really?
field.
Where did you hear
develop.
that?
But I just find it weird. Like, you like what you said, where the Cowboys drafted another wide receiver, but you okay with that because it's like that's more potency as far as a weapon, not as
I know what you mean.
I just don't see drafting a first round lineman where we know we develop offensive lineman. That's our factory.
No, I
We
get
there,
it.
we are, yeah. I mean, like, why do I need to go against my factory where, as long as I got the right, marble, I'll let motherfucking my offensive lineman coach, chip away and mold something into it because, hey, he hasn't turned out no bad offensive lineman. So that's how I feel about this whole.
Wow.
Who?
There's Andre Dillard. I mean,
It's not bad.
They traded up for him.
Like,
Yeah, but he's not bad.
I mean, Andre Dillard
Not
just got the
great.
bad end of the stick. I mean, you talking about another guy that we heard about. We was clowning him for crying during practice and everything. Don't forget about that one that went into his mental health. And then we kept around Jason Peters, the bodyguard, for a while. I mean, that's another thing. If you draft a first round lineman, you play him. You don't sit him behind on the bench and let him. Like you saying, like the old man is better than the young guy. It's like you drafted him because he needed to replace Jason Peters, but we never did. So that was kind of our own fault. But he played a couple of times this year, and he didn't look that bad. So I just, I mean, right now he's a good trade marker. So I'm like, hey, I'll get rid of Andre Dillard.
Yep.
So
I'll trade him.
I sent this in our group chat earlier, but according to Jordan Schultz, and Pete, you'll like this too, the Browns are interested for Amari Cooper.
Yeah, I mean that's only good things for Baker Mayfield.
And apparently the going price for Amari Cooper right now is a third or a fourth, which is surprising to me.
I mean, if you can get a quality wide receiver like that for a third or fourth, that's
at
a
28
steal.
years old.
And only 28. It's
Wait, you said a
Is
third
Landry a
or
free
a
agent?
fourth?
That's what apparently the
Like-
Cowboys are asking for, according to Jordan Schultz, is a third or a fourth.
I hope the Browns trade him. I hope that would be great. That would be a great haul for them.
I mean, the only thing
Landry's
is he's also going to be making $20 million this year.
I mean, they're probably going to release Landry anyway. So,
But that's what I thought. Like, is he already a free agent, or
No.
it's like his final year?
they're
They're
going
trying
to cut Cooper, so they might as well try and get something for him.
They're going to
before
try.
they
Yeah,
cut him.
exactly.
Mm.
But they only have
Well-
a certain amount of time because I think he's owed that $20 million on the 15th, or I think when the new league year starts on the 16th.
Okay,
he's
so
due-
he got one of those March deals.
he has a couple days left. He has like 4 days, excuse me, and a couple hours left until he gets that $20 million. So there is another thing too. There was a tweet from Michael K. I wanted to read. I have to
Cause see,
find
like
it.
freaking Fletcher Cox, he had his deal really doesn't kick in till like the June date. So it's if we trade him, we still owe $22 million.
But if we move on from him, we also lose like 20-something million in cap space.
Yeah, we're not trading Fletcher.
Yeah, that's why I'm like,
It's either we go down to 20-something million or we stay where we're at with like 40-something million. So
yeah, it's just best to keep him right there because I
you're stuck with, I love the guy, but you're stuck with him.
It's like if a team's willing to take him and we try to make sure they take the money, then it's going to be a low round pick. Like I would say like the highest a fourth to take on that kind of salary.
Yeah, with the contract and that whole thing. Yeah,
like a fourth or a fifth, and then if you try to get a high pick, then you definitely eating that money. So it's. Yeah, might as well keep Fletcher. That's why I'm like, hey, I'll be happy with getting Jordan Davis, one of the, a good D tackle, put him so we can have a nice rotation. What did y'all think about that DN from Miami? Because I'm hearing that we're part of that. We're looking at him.
Yeah, I like him a lot too. I want to read Mr. Wing's comment real quick though. Mr. Wing says, "You guys draft Jordan Davis or does his 40-time push him to the top 12?" I don't know, because it's weird. Because the knock on Jordan Davis is that like he's a rotational type of guy. Because if you saw him in Georgia, now again they were loaded on defense, so I think that's a part of it too. But he was a first and second down type guy. But you're going to need Jordan Davis in the NFL for at least 3 downs. So the 40 time for a defensive lineman's huge. Same thing with the vertical jump because it just measures their explosiveness. And the fact that he ran a 4.78 at 6'6", 340 something pounds. That just tells you how powerful. That just tells you how powerful this kid is.
He'll run that sideline. I mean,
yep. I'd still take him at 20. I think he's like 21, 22. Yeah, I'd still take him.
What are you talking about? He's 28, Jake.
Yeah, according to Greg's fake
you literally
page,
did that for like 4 weeks. You're literally no, he's too old. He's too old. He's too old.
Yeah, we looked into it again.
Well, Well, look at the size of the man. I mean, Jesus, could you not like we was all fooled? Okay, I was fooled. I was like, hey, well, shit, if he's that old,
yeah, and like what Mr. Wink said, Todd said earlier, yeah, he can run sideline to sideline and get quarterbacks and running backs. So, yeah, Craig fumbled the H. Yep.
But that's why I'm like, the way we attack free agency will kind of like give a better perspective of how we can really attack this draft. Because
if you're moving on from Fletch, then yeah, you're going D tackle with your first pick. That's not even a question.
They're not doing that.
No, I don't think so. Habib says I'm not too crazy on a Jobu, but what do you guys think? He turns into JPP. I'll take it. I mean, yeah, I'll take JPP.
The ceiling is so high for that kid. Like,
he's so raw. That's the issue, Habib.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. He's a boom or bust guy. Like he'll do something in the league or he'll just fade away. And I'm not sold on him. Yeah, I get it. Not quite sold on him.
Like same thing with Treylon Burks. I'm a big Treylon Burks guy, but he's so raw as a receiver. But he has all the tools and all the intangibles. Like
money don't make money.
And then he did play in the SEC. So that's why I'm like, I'm not.
I'm with you.
If we picked up Burks in the first round, I wouldn't be mad. He's not like he won't be like my like a regular pick.
No. Drafting a wide receiver out of the first round, TCU. My goodness.
I mean, look, say what you want. Like he was projected to go in the first round. Like he was projected to go right around where he was. Like it's not like a Marcus Smith situation where no one had him going in the first two rounds.
Yeah,
well, I had him ranked with Denzel Mims, and he went into the second round. So it was more how
it says a lot about Denzel Mims.
You want to talk about a bust? My God.
There you go. That's what I said. I had him going in the second round.
Just remember our boy Chris, whatever his name is, said he was an XTO. So
I thought he was. I was high on him too. I thought he was going to be really, really good.
The second Chris said he liked him, I knew he was a bust.
Well, I've just never trusted Baylor wide receivers. All they know how to do is run straight. So they don't know. They don't really have many wide receiver routes. But Mr. Wing, I hope that Jermaine Johnson drop will be there because I really see him in that. He's in that top 5 defensive lineman because not only will he show that he can be versatile on the line, will he show that he can do even a 3-4 defense. I'm like, okay, that's what we need. We need that kind of a joker kind of player, because I see that's what Rich Gannon is trying to do. Still trying to have some of that Mike Zimmer. Like I'm looking at how we got
Jonathan Gannon.
Our defense.
Jonathan Gannon, yeah. That's what
missionary Gannon. I'm trying to see how he can, what kind of players we can give him to kind of spice up his missionary, because
I need to see how he does with actual players on his defense.
Maybe it might be a little encouraging. I mean, we all know when Fletcher Cox says something about how he wanted to run his defense. So we'll see. Yeah, but I just really want to give him a fair shot by giving him some pieces on his side of the board.
Mm-hmm. Habib also says how he overvalues lots of players and tries to outsmart himself. I mean, yeah, but Howie has been on the record, even at the combine, he did say he has learned from a lot of his past mistakes, and you can see that with his past draft. He had a very, very good draft this past year. So if he can keep that momentum up, then I'm not going to be too worried. But again, I need him to do it for a consecutive period of time in order to have confidence in Howie. And the other thing is, too, that I think is interesting is that, and it's not being talked about as much, is that Jeffrey Lurie hasn't extended Howie Roseman, and this is his last year of his contract. So that's intriguing to me. So I think this is a boom or bust draft for Howie Roseman as well.
No, I'm just kidding.
well,
You had a good draft last year, Harry.
He had a very good draft.
was it like his contract expires during the draft? Like I forgot how GMs like contracts.
I
Like
forget
heard
how
like
yeah.
I heard
So
like
in the
it
middle of the
expires
draft,
right
they're just gonna
after.
tell him to go fuck off.
Like, get the hell out of here.
No, I would say Laurie is going to extend him, but
Oh, he's not going
it's
anywhere.
No, he's not
It's-
going
He's
anywhere.
not going anywhere.
No.
it's one of those like they just trying to get the numbers right.
Yeah, let's not get it twisted. He is not going anywhere.
Mm-hmm.
unfortunately.
Yeah,
Well, I mean, I can't even say unfortunately because, like I said, last year's draft was
It's a great draft.
a great draft. He
Yep.
made all the right picks, and
All
even
y'all
though
the
that
same
was
thing
like
this
a
year.
softball, it was a softball
Oh yeah,
kind of
no,
lob.
absolutely, absolutely.
Like
He
the
still
only
could have fucked
gamble
it up.
pick
Like
was
Yeah.
just because you have the easy pick doesn't mean you can do
I mean,
it
he could have
right.
fucked it up in the second round.
Yeah, absolutely.
yeah,
could
that's
have.
what I'm saying. That Landon Dickerson was like the
Yeah.
one that was like the real gamble because so much
But it
talent
worked
was
out.
sitting right there.
Yeah, and it
Absolutely.
worked out.
Well, and that's the
So-
way I look at it. I'm looking at it like, all right, well, he's finally realizing, like, you know, these big programs, like, all right, let's stop fucking looking at these guys with they have so much intangibles and oh my god, they got burners
Well-
and this like just
Well, he stayed out of the
fucking-
West Coast for once.
Oh my god, like just look at the fucking tape. Just look at
Mhm.
look at these guys on the field and make your fucking judgment off that. At the end of the day, like
When you
'cause
stay
that's
out
what
the
they're
West
doing. They're
Coast,
playing on the fucking field, man. Like
Yep.
I don't know. I don't get it. Fucking too much thought into this shit. It's just,
Yeah.
it's
He overthinks it. Yeah. No, I hear
a
you.
lot of GMs do. It's not just Howie.
well, because like for me, that's why if you look at how SEC teams play each other or just how they play football in general, and then you look at the Big Ten, it's like, okay, there is some talent over there that, you know, they got some players that can ball, that can translate to the NFL. And then you look at the Pac-12, you got a couple of players, but it's
It's
not
a whole
as
other
like
ball game.
yeah, like you got more 5-star recruits trying to play in the SEC because they know they can get some camera time and you know, get their name out there.
Yeah.
Well, and you're
compared
playing,
to the-
playing us a top talent too. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Exactly. Like you're not BSing. You know what Alabama brings, Georgia brings.
Yep.
You know, you don't just make it to that conference off of, you know, supposed talent. Like you gotta have talent like from damn near Pee-wee.
Pretty much.
Well, and you see a program like Auburn when they don't get their recruits, like what it fucking does to, even though like Auburn, like you said, if they go against some of these other, you know, conferences, like they would be great and they would probably win the conference. But yeah, like it's just it's a whole nother ballgame in terms of the talent that they get in these programs.
Like I look at tapes, Lloyd. The tape on Lloyd.
I love that.
I do.
He
Yeah,
plays
I love
linebacker,
his
though. I'm
tape.
sorry.
Oh, come on, Pete, man. Like I said, don't hit a man in the nuts. I mean, you can always get a
No,
lot
they
of
haven't. Where have you been in the last 6 months?
I think this is a year.
I think so too, to be honest.
I mean, you can't ignore it, man. I mean,
I'll believe
He
it. when I
doesn't
see
believe it,
when the
but-
pig, when the pig flies, you know.
I'm not going out and getting Bobby Wagner. He's an old man.
Well,
Okay.
that's great. I'll go get Jordan Hicks.
I'll take either one of those guys in addition to them drafting somebody.
Yeah.
They'll draft someone. It's just not going to be in round 1.
Like
It could also bring Hicks back. which-
Yes.
I would love
Yeah.
to bring Hicks back, but I got the funny feeling like you see
Oh,
how
first
healthy
play he's
he
getting
stay?
hurt.
Yeah,
You know
we
for a
were
fact.
Thank
First
you.
play he's
And
getting hurt.
And that's my point. It's like every time we
First
try to
play
bring
he's
back an
getting hurt.
Eagle, like I don't want to go through the Deshaun Jackson again.
Yeah. Well, it's not going to be that bad, but
It's
That
funny,
was
Tom.
horrible.
We talked about that exact literally verbatim like what you just said in terms of like Eagles players
Yeah.
coming back and just getting fucking injured.
Like Jordan was fantastic when he was here. When he's healthy, he's fantastic. But it's just couldn't stay healthy.
Oh, without a doubt. But I'm like, with our luck, it'll be our luck.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, if he stayed healthy his entire career, he'd still be here. It's not even a question.
That's literally his entire football career, though. That's not just his Eagles career. That's his
minus what do you call it? He stayed healthy when he was with the Cardinals for the majority of it.
College though too. He's injured in fucking college.
He was always injured in college, and that's what his coach said at the time when you drafted him. Be like, when he's healthy, he's fantastic, but he does get hurt a lot. So that's the only.
Was his contract up, or did the Cardinals release him?
They just released him.
They released him. I mean, it's because they got Xavier Collins, man.
They got Xavier Collins and they got Isaiah Simmons.
Yep.
I wanted him last year, man. Xavier Collins in that
you couldn't
first round.
trade him for anything. You couldn't get like a 4th or 5th round pick for Hicks.
I mean, hell no.
It's okay. Bring him home.
We'll bring him home.
Hell no. Yeah. Sometimes, like, just look at. I mean, the Seattle Seahawks couldn't get nothing for Bobby Wagner.
That's true. Yeah, I didn't even think about that.
And Wagner's probably going to end up going to Dallas. So.
Fuck it. Well, they still got to get under the cap first, so I'm not putting no stock into that one.
Yeah, that's true too. But there's that what do you call it connection? That connection with the DC. Why am I forgetting his name?
Oh, Dan Quinn.
Yeah, that Legion of Boom connection. So, I mean, he could take a vet minimum if he wanted to, but I don't.
Man, you already know. This is once you get released from the team that you've been with for a long time, you know you got to cash out on this next contract.
Mm-hmm.
So,
I mean, he's only, I think he's only 30, 31. So, we'll see.
Paid though too. Like that's the other thing.
He got paid in Seattle, but he's been a stud every year. I think he's led the league in tackles most of his career too.
He's an All-Pro, I think 6 or 7 times. I know.
Yeah, he's a Hall of Famer. Like you end his career today, he's a Hall of Famer.
Oh, without a doubt. I mean, he's the heart and soul of the Legion of Boom. So, he was the last. He was pretty much the last Mohican for that Legion of Boom.
He literally was. Yeah, he was literally the last one.
So
yeah, everyone else is gone.
Sherman's gone. He's cashing out.
Yeah, Sherman's gone. Chancellor's gone. Brandon Browner's in jail for life.
I mean, KJ Wright. I mean, his that was his linebacker buddy right there.
Yep. Forgot about KJ Wright.
See, and that's what I'm saying. Why not? I mean, freaking. Well,
I mean,
what?
He didn't really get paid.
What do you mean?
Well. Oh yeah, he never really had that.
To an extent for a linebacker, I guess. But like, so he played out his rookie contract.
Did he ever? Did he get the highest paid linebacker?
I don't think so.
There's no way. Looking at these numbers here. So all right, I'll go from 2017 because from 2012 to 2016 it was like garbage. In 2017, he made $4 million. 2018, he made $10 million. 2019, he made $9.5. 2020, he made like 11. 20, and then last year he made 13.
So from 15 to 19, he had a 4-year, $43 million contract, which is nice. Wow. And in 2019 to 2022, he had a 3-year, $54 million deal.
I'm sorry. Yeah, and the numbers that I just read off there aren't including his prorated bonus. So
even then though, that's real. That's another.
He's still not. He still didn't get paid.
Yeah, he still
he's
wasn't
made $80 million in his NFL career.
I mean, that's
so pretty much.
It's basically the way you're looking at it. It's like a 7-year, $97 million deal.
Yeah. So pretty much what they did was they split, like, compared to having one fat ass contract. Mm-hmm. They did like a 3-year extension kind of deal on him, and then he took a couple of pay cuts, being the team player that he is. That's how his salary kind of links up.
Yes. Yep. So if you look at, I'm looking at it right now. In 2019, his base salary was $9.5 million, and then his where the fuck is it? Oh my god, I just had it. His prorated bonus was $6.5 million.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
in 2019.
Yeah,
He's
he
making
took pay
$15 million, but like almost $7 million of that was just a prorated bonus.
See, yeah,
That ain't bad.
ain't bad, but you always say unless you get that contract or reset the market for your position, it's hard to say.
Yeah. He's not taking a vet minimum. No fucking way.
On another note, I meant to bring this up earlier. Michael K tweeted in regards to the Deshaun Watson conversation with the Eagles. He said, "My understanding is the Eagles are comfortable with Jalen Hurts, despite their logical interest in an upgrade."
Gasp.
Wow.
Whoever would suspect.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not surprised.
Makes
to be
sense.
honest, I'm not surprised.
It's clear that's where they're going with this.
Yeah, for this year, yep.
Like, because think about that. Because if they were all in a guy like Russell Wilson or Watson, I don't think they would have been willing to give up like legitimate like draft picks for Calvin Ridley. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Well, that's why I'm just curious. I want to know what we would have gave for Calvin Ridley. That's
what I've heard, and this is just a rumor. I heard it was a 2nd and a 6th.
See,
that's just.
I can live with that.
I mean, all day long.
I
think they were all in on Russell Wilson though to kind of echo off what you said though.
I mean, was it like a 100% real offer, or is it just like, hey, let's put feelers out, see what happens?
I mean, we'll never know, but he didn't want to come here, so
yeah. But
that's why I say when he gave an offer to the Seahawks, I think he knew he just threw something out there just to.
Well, I mean, it's called a bid for a reason. It's like, okay,
yep.
You get the Seattle Seahawks always go ahead and put out, okay, this is what we're kind of looking for. So pretty much they already kind of put it out there. Okay, we want at least 2 firsts and 2 seconds.
Right.
And then that's where it starts to drive up the price. Like, okay, like they said they've been working on this since like a little bit after the Super Bowl. So that kind of already lets you know the price was just driving up. And then once, they came to like, okay, it's just not going to work between Pete and Russ, they was like, all right, what's the deals that we want to go ahead and jump on? And that's they jumped on the Denver deal because
I thought they were going to get more for him, honestly, at the end of the day.
I mean, that's what I'm saying. It all depends on what other deals was out there. And I'm like, okay.
That's why I feel like he just like the Eagles made an offer and he just didn't want to come here or the East Coast. Just in general.
He just didn't want to come to the East Coast.
Yeah, I mean, that's what I'm saying.
Even though he's from Virginia.
Yeah.
Like pretty much how I took it is like, okay, they named off all the teams that put a bid in there. So they was like, okay, of all these teams, Russ, which team that you willing to go with? And he said, well, you can forget about Washington and Philly. So that all is like this, whatever we would have offered, I mean, it wouldn't. Like we could have offered all 3 first rounders in that 2023. If he wasn't going to come here, it wasn't going to happen.
Well, the rumor was too with what Washington offered. They apparently offered 3 first round picks and then some, but Russ didn't want to, like you said, Russ didn't want to go to Washington. So
I mean,
I thought we heard something too about that. Because like a while ago, I heard about the Giants being like
appreciate it, Bill.
But
later, Bill.
Isn't Sierra from, or she have like family in New York or something?
I know she has a lot of business
to
in
kind
New
of
York.
go there for the career wise.
She has a lot of business in New York. Yeah.
So like, if that was the case, then why?
New York.
Like that's a couple hour drive from Washington or Philly.
No.
I mean, from Philly, it's like 2.5
I'm not.
Yeah, it's like 2.5 hours.
Yeah, from Washington, it's probably 4 or 5 or something like that. But
they're taking a fucking private jet.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
But that's what I'm saying. Denver got a nice ass airport, so it's like still it kind of still works out for them.
Denver's beautiful too. Like that's
what I've heard. I've heard it's really nice in Denver.
Oh, hey man, look, when you're high all that time, that you don't even feel that cold.
You don't even feel the cold.
Man, don't sleep on Denver, man.
It's a little hot. Oh man.
I've heard even during like the summer, it's beautiful.
Yeah, man. Like they got, man. I heard some the lake parties are phenomenal.
That's what I've heard. Yeah, I heard it's crazy.
So it's Denver's one of those cities that they get slept on, but it's hey, I'm looking at it. I'm glad it's over, but that by the Washington jumping on this or draft or going ahead and jumping on Carson Wentz tells you a lot about this whole Deshaun Watson. It's either
it also adds an interesting wrinkle because now they most likely are not drafting a quarterback.
Who, Washington?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, well, think about that. Like, are you really drafting a quarterback when you're paying a guy like, what was it, like $30 million to play this year?
It's also Washington
Well,
we're talking about. So I wouldn't put it past
get rid of
them.
him
Yeah,
next year.
it's hard to say. I mean, what if Kenny Pickett's right there? If Kenny Pickett or Matt Carroll's right there, I mean,
I think Carson's just a
definitely see him take
stopgap
him.
this year, honestly. And that's what I really think he is. I think he's a
I'm right with
stopgap
you.
for Washington this year. And then
I mean that's why I
either
look
they
at it.
draft
It's like
someone this
okay,
year or they wait till next year. That's the
They didn't really give
Because
up anything for him.
they gave up.
no, they didn't.
Second
That's
and
the
forget what else.
Second and a fourth, or
It was like 2 seconds or something. But anyway, it wasn't a lot.
No, well, it wasn't even 2 seconds because they just swapped seconds this year.
Then there's like
Oh.
a third round that can become like a conditional. Second.
Conditional, yeah.
Yeah. So
But yeah, so I look at he definitely a stopgap because they just keeping his contract and not really, renegotiate or trying to really say like this is our franchise guy because it was well known that they was trying to get anything at the quarterback position. They was just like not sold on Tyler Heineke.
I
And
like Heineke a lot. I really like Heineke.
Can we talk about? So we brought up Kenny Pickett. Did you guys hear his his measurements from
8.5 inches?
Who
in the
cares?
Yeah.
8.5.
Yeah.
So
Boy,
dumb.
Rich Eisen had me rolling.
I mean-
Desmond Riddle, who has bigger hands than he does, had more fumbles.
dude, I'm just like that's
This means nothing
just
to
some
me.
small
Like,
fucking hands, man.
Yeah, but Vic has the same size hands. That's the only difference.
Hey, every inch matters.
Vick's hands are the same size.
Vic
yeah,
has
he has small dick.
Vic has 8.5.
He had a
Really?
9.
Vic has
Yeah.
small hands.
He had a 9.
That's small dick talk right there.
That's feet. Yeah, feet.
That's
I
what that
could help
is.
that one.
Listen,
I
I
could help
don't,
that one.
I don't care what anyone says. Vic had the prettiest deep ball I've ever seen. In
Yeah,
my
it's
life.
one of
No,
it's
no
one of
doubt.
the best people
He
I've
would
ever
just
seen.
Oh,
flick it, and
absolutely.
it was
No,
like
because it was just a flick of the wrist.
it was
and
just
you-
effortless. It was the prettiest thing.
the second that thing left the wrist,
It was like,
oh man, that went 75 yards. Shit.
and it
Hey,
was
that's
just like
what.
it was just like a casual.
It's always
Hey.
the Deshaun Jackson one in Washington.
Which
I was
one?
getting ready to say that, Dan. Get out
Yeah,
my
the
first
head.
play
I
of
was
the
like,
game.
that's
What do you mean?
That-
which
that-
one? The
the
first is
first
always
play
the
of the
first play of the
game.
game.
Yeah.
On an
I mean, where because you got to see everything. You got to
Yeah.
see where that rollout was perfect. You saw when Vic had the time,
Yeah.
lined it up, and you even see how fast Deshaun Jackson is. You got to see everything.
I'll
a
never
pinpoint
forget, like
ball.
sitting on my couch, just losing my shit. Like, oh my fucking god!
Man, I was in Japan.
Overreacting.
I was in Japan. The game came on right as like close to lunchtime, and I was able to slide out an hour for chow. That I went to my boy because he was a Falcons fan, but he was talking like, man, you want to watch the Monday night game? I was like, and of course it's Tuesday in Japan.
Yeah.
So I was like, of course. So I was like, of course we're gonna watch the fucking Monday night game, man. We ain't got nothing else better to do. So we just right there, and as soon as that play happened, I was like, oh, it's gonna be a blowout tonight. And then Vic follows up with that perfect like. Oh my goodness, I had such high hopes for Macklin, but when he caught that touchdown, reaching back and then falling right in between the pile line, I was like, "Oh my god!"
Yeah,
Because
if Macklin was able to stay healthy,
exactly, I had high hopes
Well,
for him.
man,
I really
imagine that
did.
2013 team if Macklin doesn't get hurt.
yeah, yep.
I got one for you. Imagine 2014 if we don't cut Deshaun.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know.
That was a crazy offense, too. That was a crazy offense.
They won 9 games.
You had Macklin, you had McCoy,
Cooper.
you had Jackson.
Yeah,
Cooper,
I mean, like we had the Super Bowl team, and Chip Kelly got in his own
Let's not
fucking way.
Let's not get crazy.
Well,
man.
as far as offense, you couldn't
Yeah,
tell
the
me
defense,
if we would have kept Jackson, Macklin,
Mhm.
with
Macklin was-
Shady and
was
Vic.
like- everyone
Come
was-
on, bro.
I don't know. I don't think so because you didn't have the quarterback.
What? You didn't, man.
In 24,
Here we go.
no, they didn't have the quarterback. Like, I'm sorry. Like, Foles was not good in 2014. Like, obviously they won games, but he was not playing well.
I'm talking about with
after
Vic.
Vic,
Yeah, with
Vic
Vic.
got fucking benched like after 4 games.
What are you
No,
talking about? He got benched. He got hurt.
He got hurt, and then they
Nick-
give him
Nick-
back to him. Like,
Nick Foles played the fucking Raiders, who was garbage, and he got that fucking 7
Nick was
touchdown
dumb.
game. And it was like of course you wouldn't.
the fact that he didn't go anywhere and be a real star there told you everything you needed to know.
He's only good in Eagles green. That's all I care about.
Damn right.
No, it was fine, but like that was it. Like he had those 2 games where he looked fucking amazing, and then it just started going downhill until he got hurt.
No, but it's funny though. Like if you just look at his career, he's only been good in an Eagles uniform. I think that's hilarious.
I mean Falcons too.
Mm.
They went an NFC Championship game with them. Like, come on.
Go play on the Falcons.
Wait, we're talking
No,
about.
I'm
the
talking
defense?
about-
I was
I'm
gonna
talking
say, he's
about
talking about Foles. What are you
Oh,
talking
what are you
about?
talking
Foles?
about,
What are you
Michael
talking about,
No,
Foles, man?
I was like,
Where
when the
Where
fuck
you-
did Nick Foles
Where did you
fucking
go
pick
to
the
the
Falcons?
Falcons, man?
I mean, give it a few years.
Bill says real quick. I think Washington stole Wentz. He threw for over 3,500 yards, 27 touchdowns, and only 7 interceptions last year. And
also
And
had
he laid the
best
biggest
running
egg
back
in the
league.
league.
yeah, but like
I'm
here's the
sorry,
thing. When you
there's no
look
excuse.
at when you look at Wentz's stats, also you have to look at context. When you look at just his stats by himself, they look fine. But
Numbers
he also,
do lie.
Yeah. Like you have to look. Wentz had limited passing attempts because they didn't trust Wentz could win a game with his arm, which
They had the
Lo and
best running back
behold,
in the league.
yeah, they're the best
Thank you.
running game in the league. Yet arguably
Damn,
like
hey,
the number 2,
I want-
number 3 MVP.
It's like,
Jonathan
damn,
Taylor.
you want to be tagged in on this one? We'll be the Dudley boys on this shit. We're gonna
Yeah,
get the
no.
table, motherfucker. Because
Get the
I'm like,
table!
let's put this, exactly. We're gonna put this shit to bed because
I don't know. I don't
Philip
think anyone
Rivers-
wants to be D-Bomb right now. Or I mean Bubba, sorry.
What happened to Bubba?
Bubba.
Oh, he said some stupid ass shit about John Moxley.
Oh Lord.
All right, you got to put it in the
Yeah.
chat later, so I know.
Yeah.
whatever. But no, it's okay. We're gonna go run down the list right fast again. Phillip Rivers took that team to the playoffs. Carson, you come in. You're back with your old coach. You should be, there. It wasn't like he had pig slop all around him. Like, come on, man. He had enough. He didn't do
Jonathan
it. So now
Taylor.
you're going to Washington. Washington, I would say they just about
They're okay.
They
like
have a
the
really
Colts.
good defense.
Yeah, they have a really good defense. The offensive line is okay. They got Terry Scary,
They got scary
so
Terry, yeah.
just like Michael Pittman Jr. I'm like, it's the teams are about as similar. It's just
The running game is taking a significant drop. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. I mean, Antonio
Well,
Gibson's really good.
yeah,
but,
no, that's
I think,
not
Michael,
like-
I think Michael
ain't nothing
Pittman
to
is,
speak
I think
that.
Michael Pittman is way better than Terry McLaurin. I like Terry McLaurin.
I disagree.
Oof.
Pittman's
You
really
said-
good.
I think
You
Pittman
said you
was a
think
top
Michael
10.
Pittman's better than Terry
I
McLaurin?
do. I think Michael Pittman was a better wide receiver last year than Terry McLaurin. I
No,
think
I don't think
top
so.
10 wide receiver.
Okay, last
so.
year, do you think he's a better? You said last
Overall?
year.
If this is what Michael Pittman is every year going forward, yes.
They're both really
Man,
good. They're both really good.
And I'm cool with that. Like
Both-
if it comes up and blows in my face, I'm completely fine with that.
Yeah, they're
What did
both
he
really
put up
good.
number wise? I'm curious now. To see.
Michael Pittman was close to 1,000 yards, but he had, I think, 8 touchdowns.
I'll pull it up.
I'm maybe I'm just a little biased because I get tired. It was like this. I know when we go against him, I'm like, fuck
he had
him.
1,000
But
yards
I
and
love
6
his
TDs.
game.
He had
but I
88
love his
he had
game.
8
It's-
receptions. Yeah, he had 88 receptions and 1,000 yards and 6 TDs.
He did have 1,000 yards. Okay.
All right, well, hold on.
I'm
What
sorry.
did,
I got to go with Terry Scary, man.
What did Terry have?
Oof.
He had 1,000 yards and 5 touchdowns.
Okay. So, yeah, I mean, they're
1,053 and 5 touchdowns.
Yeah,
on
they're both
11
highly
less
productive.
receptions.
Okay, that's fine.
They're both highly productive.
I got to go with Terry Scary, man. I'm sorry.
I gotta go with Pittman. I'm sorry. It's okay.
I mean, their numbers are comparable.
They're definitely comparable.
I can't.
They're young, up and coming, trying to be
I
number
can't hate
one.
on Pete for saying that because they're. I mean, Harry's
And
been
here's
in the
the
year
thing.
a year longer. He's been in the-
Pittman did it with Mr. Inconsistent Carson Wentz.
Uh-huh.
Okay, and you got a half a bottle of Heineke doing it too.
A bottle.
I mean, hey man, that's an XFL
like that.
MVP right there.
I mean, he ain't a full pint, but he.
Yeah,
And speaking of MVP,
I mean, Terry didn't even have an NFL quarterback throwing
come
the fucking
April.
football.
No, he didn't.
I mean, that's what I'm saying. Like, I can make the same excuses. You talking about inconsistent wins. I got half of a bottle of Heineke. You see how desperate that the Washington Redskins are. So that lets you know how he thinks it. But I mean, we all kind of like, hey, he gets the job done. We put respect on Heineke's name. So
he'll win you games. He'll definitely win you games.
And speaking of excuses.
Yeah.
We have no excuses but to watch the USFL come April.
Oh, shut up!
I saw one show without you.
Are you gonna Are you gonna like fly or drive to fucking Alabama? Or is that where they're fucking having the game?
Yeah, they're.
I'm trying to get them to give me tickets to the championship game. I'm just gonna tweet them every week. I'm like, I'll drive. I will drive. I will.
Is it Birmingham?
Yeah. If they
That's a good time down there, Pete.
No, dude. If I can maneuver them to get me tickets, I will drive from Jersey to Birmingham and like vlog the whole fucking trip.
Dan, he ain't ready for no down south party.
Seriously, seriously, Pete. I would do it because we stopped there on the way to New Orleans. It's a good time there.
He ain't gonna be ready for no down south party, man.
I heard.
He's not even gonna make it to the game, man.
God damn
it! To the game, boy.
Suns are gonna fuck up my parlay.
Sorry, you ain't gonna make it to the game, Pete. If you go down there trying to pregame with them boys.
Oh no, I don't pregame. I would just go to the game and then go home.
I heard Nashville's a great time too. I heard Nashville's.
My buddy was just there. I told you, he brought him moonshine. Fucking
yeah, he died the next day.
Fucking
not literally
flaked out on the Sixers game because he got all wasted and shit.
Fucking idiot. Hey, drinking and barbecuing, man. The BBs.
Dude, that's my life.
That's
exactly. That's what I'm saying. The BBs.
That's what I live by. Barbecue and beer.
I saw that sorry ass damn schedule. I can't believe y'all got 10 weeks of that bullshit, man. Ugh.
10 weeks of what?
Is that how long the season is?
Yeah, 10 weeks, man. I thought it would be shorter.
Holy shit.
Oh my god.
10 weeks.
10 weeks. I was like, how did they pull off 10 weeks? They should have only been like 8.
Fox.
I love it.
And then like,
it's gonna be great.
And if all the games are in Birmingham, I like literally like the first 4 weeks they having like at least 6 games. I'm like, if they all playing on that field, I feel sorry for the last team they got to play on that field because
the playoffs are going to be in Cleveland. The playoffs are going to be at the Hall of Fame.
No, I'm talking about like the home and away games. Like, aren't they all playing the same stadium?
It makes perfect sense because they know that the first year you want to really test the fan base, and what better way to do that in a place like Alabama? You're going to get cheap tickets, and you're not setting it to like fucking places like LA that are going to fuck you money wise, because that's what they did with the XFL, where they did it in LA. They made zero fucking cash.
But are they playing it in one stadium? That's what Todd's getting at. Like, is it going to be one?
I think it's 2.
It's 2 fields? Okay, then that's not.
How many teams?
Okay, if it's 2,
I think it's 8.
8 teams.
Okay.
Ooh, so that's 2 games on
2 days to a field.
Or 4, four games on 2 different fields.
That's not bad then. Okay, that's not bad.
I mean, the second games, if it's right after the other game, the field's going to be torn up.
Yeah,
That's what I'm saying. Is don't let it rain, boy. Oh dear
Yeah.
God, that second game is going to be
Keepers work
brutal.
overtime. That's going to be.
Yeah, there's no way Ertz joins him.
He's a free agent. He's a free agent.
I see Earth going to the Buffalo. I feel as though
Because it's like been
Buffalo's
like 3 years in the
minute.
making.
He's been connected to Buffalo. Yeah,
the Bills been wanting him for a minute, and
he had a good little run with the Cardinals. So
yeah, I mean that's I
And
mean
it went downhill after
okay.
we got there, but yeah.
yeah,
I-
Kyler Murray's
what-
all upset.
Not that it was his fault. It was
No,
They did the same thing.
like
fucking
okay,
prior.
here's a little poll question: who do you think will get paid first, Lamar Jackson or Kyle Murray?
Kyler Murray, because I already know Lamar's waiting. Lamar's playing the waiting game, so he's going to see what Kyler gets paid, and then he'll jump.
I would not pay him a crazy amount of money.
I wouldn't pay Lamar. That's just me. I wouldn't.
He's
He's talented as shit.
What's so funny is that because everyone talks about like how good Kyler Murray is, but like all they do is slander Baker. It's bullshit.
Hey,
Yeah,
bro,
I'm excited
agree
to
with
see
that.
him try and turn it around this year.
Yeah.
How
okay.
How do you feel about like what are your thoughts on Lamar Jackson in terms of like what he brings to the game?
Like pretty much what I make him my
quarterback
franchise
position.
guy.
I think he's overrated.
100% agree.
Because think about that. Like take away those garbage time TDs he gets in the fourth quarter of like blown out. Because I'm just talking playoffs. Like take out all the garbage time stats he gets. Like it's like one touchdown and like 6 interceptions with like 12 turnovers. It's fucking ridiculous.
He's a highly inconsistent throwing the ball, and he's just
The second you stick him in a playoff setting, all you got to do is load the box, and then that whole team is fucked.
Yeah,
because it starts with him, hit the running game with him as a quarterback, and then he starts to get open. He's able to get guys open because they're looking at him as a runner, and then he's able to set it up with the pass. That's what he did his MVP year.
I mean,
I just don't believe in him as a passer, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
That's where like I love like everybody was giving him that Vic kind of style or giving him those compliments and everything, but the thing that I just could not see, that MVP season, I was like, okay, you win the MVP, now we're going to see how you're going to take it up even further, like to cement that MVP, because you can't get hurt, and you got to prove that you can win from that pocket.
Yeah.
And it's just like you said, inconsistency.
Real quick.
Go ahead, Dan.
I got 2 things. All right. I'll start with the NBA thing since we're not talking about that. Greg Popovich just passed. Who the fuck did he pass?
Brad Alvarez.
Don Nelson. I was trying to think. He just passed Don Nelson for all-time wins in the NBA. So,
God bless him.
Congrats to
Good job,
Congrats to Pop.
That's
awesome.
And then second, according to Jason LaCanfora, the Steelers will not be pursuing Deshaun Watson.
So it means they are pursuing Deshaun Watson.
Yeah, but I mean, the Steelers aren't really known for making like big trades like that, let alone.
This is true, but it's Jason LaCanfora.
No, I agree. I agree.
You go the opposite direction with that guy.
Yeah, that's true.
For the most part, I just figured I'd throw it out there because it's.
Who's the NBA version of that guy?
Who?
LaCanfora.
You know what? And he actually broke shit this year. Ironically, Windy.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. He did break the Harden thing. I won't lie.
But yeah, I would say Windy's like locking for.
But it's.
Yeah.
What?
I just really see that because the Steelers are in a predicament because they can't really go out and spend money on the quarterback because if you do that, then you're giving up Mika Fitzpatrick. You they got to re-sign their own players right now, and that's what they're kind of looking at right now.
Mhm.
And they still want to try to move up in the draft because I feel as though Pittsburgh is still got that Dan Marino kind of shit hanging on them. I don't know why they, I don't keep every time I hear a storyline about when they're talking about replacing or trying to go get a quarterback. Is either I'm hearing between Kirk Cousins or Jimmy Garoppolo, and then or either that trying to move up to get Kenny Pickett. Like they are sold on Kenny Pickett.
Don't be surprised if they get Kenny Pickett either. Don't be surprised.
But the problem with them is trying to figure out how they want. If they want to move up in the draft to grab them, that's what they're trying to figure out.
Habib
good, great, love it. So now I get to see Jack Fritz cry like a bitch for the next 6 weeks.
I like Malik.
I do. I don't like him. I like him towards the later half of the draft.
Malik is a project. If you watch the game tape, you will see why.
Oh, he's a project for sure.
I feel like my problem with him is that, like, when I watch Malik Willis, it's very much like I watch Jalen Hurts.
He's Jalen Hurts with a cannon. That's the only thing.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I'm like,
Hurts with a slightly better arm. Like
he got a stronger arm, but guess what? He still got to develop in the pocket. Still got to learn how to read a defense and learn his progression. Case,
I might as well just keep the original guys.
Yeah, just keep.
There you go. Yeah, I might as we already got the other guy in here. I don't feel like going through a whole nother year of trying to see if he can develop. Like this is I'm like, yo, we developed the roster. If he's, like Dan says, hey, we gonna be hard on him. If he's, he sinks, he sinks. If he swims, hey, let's roll.
Yeah, right.
I'm not gonna lie.
Uh-oh.
Go ahead. No, go ahead, Todd.
No, go ahead, Dan. You got me interested. Go ahead.
No, I'm off. I'm far off topic. So go ahead.
Okay.
Oh well, it's as far as the Malik Willis thing, because I don't know why, but does it feel like the media is just trying to make him the darling of the draft class, and that's where I don't like it because. Okay, you have Kenny Pickett. Is like why is his name getting brought up? A little bit more about his throwings, even though his small is all we kept on talking about was his small hands.
They keep bringing up the 2 gloves nonsense. I'm like, it's fucking Pittsburgh. Of course you wear 2 gloves.
And did Matt Carroll? Did he go to the combine, or was he still hurt?
He's hurt. That's why they're not.
He's still nursing that ankle injury, but I think they said he'll be fine for his pro day. I like.
And then the other ones are Riddle and Sam Howell.
Sam Howell, yep.
But even so, it's like they still don't even talk about those guys as much as Malik Willis was. I mean, hell, they went bananas over helping a homeless man. I mean, come on. It's like, yo, it's a good thing, but it's like they really trying to shove it down everybody's throat.
There's always that one player that the media kind of gravitates towards.
Like, what's that one quarterback that was in Brady's draft?
He's not old. He's 24. Let's get out of here.
He's 26. So
really? He's 26? I thought he was 24.
No, he's older.
And whatever.
I forgot the quarterback's name, but pretty much he went into he came out in Brady's draft.
He said whatever.
Fuck it. Whatever.
He's old as well.
I respect that, Pete, actually.
Whatever. Whatever. I don't care. Whatever.
All right, let me slip this in real quick because
go ahead.
So I was looking through my movies that I have on my online service.
I like where
I
we're
was
going.
like, you know what? I'm really in the mood for a fucking baseball movie, and I'm like, I'm just feeling it,
basketball.
Huh?
That doesn't count.
No, I said
it counts.
Does not count.
Yeah, it's always Major League, because I need a laugh.
Major League's a great one.
Damn right. Which one? 1 or 2?
I mean, both. One's always obviously
you can't beat the original.
You should watch my favorite baseball movie that is also the worst baseball movie, aka Mr. Baseball.
Mr. Baseball.
Mr. Baseball is the one with Tom Selleck where he's an older guy who plays for the Yankees, and they instead of cutting,
yes.
yes. Okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
Nah, I'd rather watch Angels in the outfield.
So I went on my
solid one. There's
Angels
no
in the
bad
outfield.
one.
Yes. Yeah.
It's a great
Yo,
one.
that kind of gets the tears rolling for me sometimes.
Damn right.
Oh,
give me
yeah.
a little, give me a little extra,
Did
give me a
your
little
dad
extra,
tell you he
little
was going
salt
to come
on
back
my
if
on my
the
baseball
Phillies
movie.
win the pennant?
No, unfortunately, my dad was a fucking punk and still there all the time. And no, I'm just, no, I'm just kidding. I love you, Dad.
But no, I did like I love Major League One, but I still got
League's
some favorite moments from Major League Two. I mean, I love it because you see how they went out big free agency, try to get like big time players, and they even make it to a quarter of the season and had to get rid of them. So I was like, hey, that shows you that little bit of in life right there.
I quick strolled Twitter and like saw some guys in spring training.
Mm-hmm.
Oh shit, man! And then like I heard
It's
shit
coming
like
back.
this.
Coming back. Oh, that's the best.
I'm like,
That's the
oh
best.
my god! Like
Hearing the crack of the bat.
like
Oh.
seriously, oh my god! Like especially if you get to the stadium early, like if say you go to a Phillies game early and you get
bat practice. Yeah.
there is literally nothing better. Like I don't think there's anything better in terms of like audio that you get at a sporting event.
Mine is I like the basketball swoosh a lot.
I bet you my brother
nice.
is the happiest person in the world right now because baseball is back. Not because he gives a flying fuck about baseball, but because he bought me Phillies tickets for Christmas.
Did he really?
So we're opening up presents. I'm like, oh, hey, Mike, here's the name of my brother, Michael. He gives me, I'm like, oh, hey, I sent you your gift through email because it was like an online gift card thing. He's like, oh, what did you get me? And he's like, oh, I got you tickets. I'm like, to what? He's like, to baseball. And I'm like, Major League Baseball? He's like, yeah. Why? I'm like,
why?
He's like, do you not like it? I'm like, no, I just wish you had talked to me beforehand. He's like, why?
Baseball doesn't exist.
Baseball
right
is baseball is on strike. He's like, what does that mean? He's like, you might have purchased an expensive gift you cannot use.
You're going to the Wilmington Blue Rocks.
Yeah, right. You're like, hey, maybe we can trade them in for some Reading.
Yeah, for some AA tickets.
Right.
Yeah.
So to go off like to follow with the best sound, it's between that and a golf swing for me because I played baseball and golf. And like that, like a golf swing just right off a tee. Oh my god, that's a beautiful sound.
I think I was just like saying like major sports because like not many people like I haven't been able. I'm a big golfer. My grandfather worked at a golf course and helped run a golf course for like 40 years. So like golf is one of my passions, but I haven't been fortunate enough to go to like a PGA tournament. But
okay.
In terms of like, I feel like major sports, like what else? Like Jake, you said like the swoosh of
a basketball. Yeah,
but even that you got to be close in like the stadium to be able to hear that.
Oh, I was just going by like just audio in general.
I mean,
one of my favorite things.
Yeah.
Well,
because if you think about it, if you're at the stadium, you hear that.
That's a good
like
one.
pretty much. I remember being on the golf team, and that's when we made the Golf World magazine, and they took us out to the PGA, seeing Tiger Woods. Like I said, the camera doesn't do him justice. That's a big motherfucker.
Yep.
He was rocked up. And then hearing him just, going through his swings, oh my goodness. It's like everybody was quiet as fuck, but just hearing him crack fucking with the irons or even the woods, and he ain't even got to the driver yet. And when he finally got to the driver, I was like, ooh.
Actually, I think I got one.
And you know why he has back problems now.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
But it was worth it, though. That was like cracking because it was like,
yeah.
You don't
I
even
think I got another sound, though.
By the way, though, real quick before Dan says it, Tiger's son's going to be really good.
Oh, absolutely.
He's going to be so good.
No doubt. That
Did you watch that father-son thing?
Oh my god.
It was incredible. It was absolutely incredible. His son was carrying his dad. Literally. He was carrying Tiger.
John Daly and his kid too, like that.
Yeah, they were good.
It was fun to fucking watch, man.
Yeah,
Well, you know how golf goes. It's you'll have your main stars, and then you'll have like some stars sprinkled in. And now it's going like the stars that were sprinkled in is still kind of carrying the sport, like the Bubba. What's my man? Like you're getting all these weird winners, but then you'll start getting these consistent winners, and that's when once you get the consistent winners, and then get like at least 2 or 3 of them, like you had Tiger and Nicholson, and you love when they compete, and then you always get I know Mickelson. He's going through some problems right now.
For a minute, man.
Yeah.
Hey, I got an autograph from VJ Singh, so hey, I thought he was going to break through. I thought it was going to be him and Tiger Woods battling for years. He just kind of faded a little bit, but still had a great career.
But the other sound I would say that would possibly come close to a baseball swing. It's not gonna be there just because of the sport is ringing off the crossbar or the post in hockey.
That's a good one.
Just because it's
yeah.
Well, just that shot off the ice. I mean, it's a power shot when you hear that slap.
That's true.
That's a
good one.
I
would say bowling, but
Well, I mean, you can always just go to a bowling alley and get that.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. You kind of get bored of it after a while. Trying to think.
Football, the stadium's just too loud, so you're not going to get.
Yeah.
I mean, I would say Peyton Manning when he's doing the Omaha.
Yeah, right.
But that's only on the field because you got all those microphones and shit.
Well,
yeah.
I would. Well, okay, for football, it'll just have to be the very first kickoff. Like you actually get to hear that. That's that. Like you really know, especially now during the off season. You waiting to see all these off season moves, and then it's like that dead summer. You're just like, okay, I'm ready for football now. I'm ready to get back in the mode. And then when you finally get to the very first game and hearing that kickoff, especially all the games around the league, every kick is like just about the same. It's just that.
It's that. I think that's more that feeling you get. But yeah, I'm with you.
Yeah, that's the only time I think like everybody's kind of quiet and ready for football because everybody's like, oh.
Yeah. I cannot wait. I cannot wait for opening day. I can't wait.
See, so it's
baseball.
I'm gonna head off to bed because I got
car
selling. I got car selling in the morning. I got a hot date tomorrow, so I need my rest. I need my beauty sleep.
There you go.
Oh, where you gonna take her out, man?
We're gonna go mini golfing, so that should be fun.
There you go.
Oh, there you go, mini golfing. What else?
Nice.
Where you gonna go eat?
I don't know. I haven't decided yet.
Make sure you let her win.
You got to, yeah.
No, fuck that. I can't. We went bowling on one of our dates. I kicked your butt, and that's the gentlemanly thing to do.
Date, all right.
That's the gentlemanly thing to do.
All right, man.
If it's not the first date, then you can fucking cross.
Oh yeah. If it's not the first date, whatever.
He said,
I don't care. It's the first day or the 55th day. I'm going all in, babe.
Splasher.
Damn right.
Man. Pete sound like you got got little side bets going on, man.
Pete's fucking Matumbo in mini golf. No.
Yeah.
No. It's honestly this coolest place. It's actually Monster Mini Golf in Cherry Hill. I honestly recommend everyone check it out. It's this really cool setting where it's indoor mini golf stuff.
Exactly
where they have like all these like cool monster designs and everything. Where they got like pro wrestlers like designed as monsters. It's really neat. So
well,
right. What's it called?
Just don't lose your side bets, man. Just don't lose your side bets.
Yeah, it's a monster themed indoor mini golf place.
And you said it has something to do with wrestling.
Yeah, they have they have every hole is based on like some type of like character, like and it's like a monster theme.
Does it have anything to do with the Monster Factory wrestling?
No.
Okay.
Like they have like a zombie version of Buddy Rodgers painted on the wall, which is
That's
kind of
pretty
cool.
That's
Yeah,
pretty
it's really cool. But anyways, I will see you guys later and enjoy the rest of the show.
All right, Pete.
Later, man.
Night.
Later. Can figure out how to get out of here.
Kind of
There you go.
disappointed. I thought he was gonna. So have you guys, Jake? I know you're like a wrestling guy.
Indeed.
I was a wrestling guy for a while when I was a kid, and then kind of grew out of it.
Yeah, not as much as I used to be. I grew up during the Attitude Era, so I grew up during.
Damn right.
peak
I'm actually kind of interested to see WrestleMania because Stone Cold's coming back, so that's that kind of piqued my interest. But I feel as though I could just watch the highlights on my phone.
It's gonna be yeah, exactly. I feel like it's gonna be so gimmicky. But I only watch anymore. I just watch Royal Rumble and I watch WrestleMania. I love the fact that it's 2 nights though. I love the fact that it's 2
that's
nights.
pretty much it.
So I used to go to this place in South Jersey, in Paulsboro. My grandfather was like really big in South Jersey. He wrote for the Gloucester County Times and did a whole bunch of stuff for Comcast in like local South Jersey on TV.
Mm-hmm.
And he had connections with like a whole bunch of different sport companies and stuff like that. One of them was this Monster Factory, which was ran by, I can't remember his name, but one of the main guys when I was a kid was, you remember King Kong Bundy?
Yes.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, was King Kong Bundy.
Okay.
And I got to meet King Kong Bundy. And this was like when he was already in the WWF at the time. So like when he said the Monster Factory and he said wrestling, I'm like, does that have affiliation? Because like it's still there. Like I just typed in Monster Factory on Google and it says Mantua Ave in Paulsboro, New Jersey. It's literally still there. So
hey, everybody loves miniature golf, man.
Absolutely.
It's a nice little cheap business, and trust me, I'm like Myrtle Beach. We got at least 10 miniature golfs or 12. It's always fun to go. Got different things.
We would go down to Wildwood, New Jersey, and there'd be this one that was on the top of the fuck was it? It was on top of one of the buildings on the boardwalk. And I just remember we would go to the same one every time because it was distinguished because it was literally like overlooking the boardwalk.
Yeah.
But mini golf. Good times, man.
So
I haven't been to Top Golf.
Neither have I. I want to.
It's expensive, but it's fun.
Is it?
It's very expensive, but it's fun.
The simulator type golf shit. Yeah.
They what do you call it? They charge you for like a party that's expensive, and then food's expensive, and then getting drinks. It's a whole.
Is it by time now?
When I went, it wasn't. But again, it was for like a party event, so we had it like the whole day.
Oh wow!
Okay.
I'm sure they probably charge you for like an hour, 2 hours, however long. But it's a lot of fun.
Yeah. Well, I mean, the simulator is always fun, you know. Yeah. Now that seeing they gonna added like a basketball simulator and everything, I was like, damn, man, they just went ahead and put everything on that back screen, throwing footballs, try to see how accurate you are as a quarterback, doing like drives. So I was like, okay. I've been kind of getting to the act throwing.
What do you call it? My girlfriend's supposed to take me for my birthday next week, so
axe throwing.
Yeah.
Oh man, you're gonna have fun.
She literally told me, she's like, "You want to go axe throwing?" I'm like, "Yes."
It's addictive as fuck, man.
I'm like, absolutely. Like, I will absolutely go axe throwing. But that should be fun.
You're gonna start thinking about John Wick movies and say like this. Yeah, think about surviving. I can take anything and throw it.
No, think Fuck axe throwing for John Wick. Give me a pencil. Every time I see a pencil, I think.
Oh
of John Wick.
yeah.
Every time I see a pencil, I'm like shit. He killed 3 people with just a pencil. So it's like it's so ridiculous, but it's like one of my favorite movie series ever. It's so ridiculous, but it's so good.
Oh, I can't wait for the fourth one.
The
I'm
fourth
like, how?
one, I know. They're supposed to do
I'm
like
just-
6, I think, or something.
Oh,
like that.
okay. So they are going up to 6.
I think they're going up to
Holy
6.
shit.
Yeah.
I thought they was gonna stop at 5, but okay. Because I know 4 is done, and I heard they just kind of almost did like a back-to-back on it.
So
I think that's what they were planning to do. Yeah.
so the second one will always be the best for me. Not because of the actual like movie and like the way it played out or whatever. But so I got it and I bought it on Blu-ray and I brought it home, right?
Oh no.
And I have like speakers in my ceiling and in my wall, and I have it set up for, it's called Dolby Atmos.
Okay.
Mhm.
And you guys remember the scene where he's in his house and it's raining?
Oh, it probably sounded like it was. Did it sound like it was raining in your
Yes.
house?
So I
That's
have
insane.
I have 2 speakers in the ceiling, and the only sound that you hear is coming from the 2 speakers in the ceiling, and it's the rainfall.
That's insane.
And it blew my fucking mind. I was like, this is like everything and more that I ever could imagine. Like,
wow.
It sold you all your
it's like
surround sound.
it's one of those things where it's like, you know, like those things like you like have to tell somebody about, and like,
You're like,
"Oh, you
holy
fucking
shit."
need this. Yeah.
Hey, what was it? My Bose? Oh my
Mhm.
goodness. Yeah. The back speakers, it picked up like those little extra details
Mm-hmm.
and just having that surroundings and how it all like well, by the way, I think number 2 is my favorite John Wick 2.
Yeah, 2's great.
It like 3 was just
I thought
on
it
the
was-
like it was, I thought it was like the Running Man. You know,
Yeah,
he's
it was-
doing
it
the
was
killing and
okay,
he still
but it
got to
was
stay on
just-
the move. So
Yeah. Like,
I
3
mean,
was
don't get me
good, I
wrong.
just-
They had like I would say 3 was more animal kills.
Yeah.
You had the horse and then you had dogs. So I was like, okay, I want to call John Wick 3 the animals. Let's get into it. So this 4th one is going to be all right. Back to armies. Everybody's going to have like a John Wick kill.
That fight with Boban, though, is still my favorite part.
Oh,
Him
dude.
fighting Boban was fantastic.
I-
And that's when he was still on the. That's when he was still on
He
the
was still a
Sixers. I remember
Sixer,
when I
yeah.
saw it in theaters. I'm like, oh shit, it's Boban.
But just that hand on his head, my God.
Dude, it's crazy how big he is. It's crazy how big he is. I feel
I
bad
mean,
for his wife.
you can tell he had fun with it though. Oh my goodness.
Dude, his wife gets crushed nightly. It's not even a question. I feel bad for his wife. Have you seen how big his hands are?
Oh,
Boy,
yeah.
Like, it's
talking
just
about an ass Mac, huh?
yeah. It's not fair.
Think about it. He was giving like a high five to fucking Tobias Harris, who's
And
like
his hands are
6'9".
frickin'-
Tobias is 6'8", 6'9". Like, are you
Yeah.
fucking kidding me?
Yeah. He's-
Hey,
If he was if he was as athletic as Joel Embiid,
oh
forget
wow.
about it.
Greatest
He'd be the
center of
best
all
center
time.
ever.
Yeah.
He'd be the best center ever.
What didn't he? I mean, he got his second job as was the fix the goal on the freaking basketball court. It brought his ass out just so he could fix
He's
it.
like,
I was
all
like,
right, I'll fix it.
yeah,
So
it's
that,
just,
we were doing that
just
game
hang
live,
on.
weren't we? Yeah.
I love
So I'm
Boban.
like, what the hell? Hey,
That was fantastic.
but Jesus, man, that was a crucial fight scene though.
Yeah. That was the best. But I always like Boban. I'll always be a fan. I will always be a fan of Boban. But you got anything else before we get out of here?
Who do you think going? Let's put a bet line. Who do you think is going to go to the Colts? Jimmy G or Kirk Cousins?
I'd say Kirk. Maybe Jimmy. Depends on how his shoulder is. He said his surgery went well, so
I like Kurt.
yeah, I like Kirk too. Like Kirk, I
that's what
don't
I
think
was
is
like.
bad.
I think the Colts will go because what was it?
Maybe Jimmy.
So they just picked up a couple of second rounders.
Mm-hmm. Eagle Slayer says Malik Willis. Okay. That wouldn't shock me either.
But that means the Colts got to fight back into the first round. They don't have that first round pick, man.
Nope.
Are you willing? It's like how much you willing to give just to get up to Malik Willis? That's not.
Yeah, right.
I think they want to compete too. Plus, like
Jim Irsay does. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, they're not going to want to. They're not going to
lay down for sure.
Nah, that's why. Okay, what would you give for Kirk Cousins?
Third.
Maybe you could probably get a second for him if I was Minnesota. I think so.
Point?
He's not bad. He's a good quarterback. It's just don't have him play primetime games.
I mean, a strong running game will benefit because it's nothing against Dalvin Cook. He was just always in and out. You know, he'll be back a couple of weeks and then he'll disappear. Then he'll be back.
What's Jimmy G get you? I got Jimmy. Jimmy's gonna get you more than
you think.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean,
he's more of a proven winner than.
Yeah, Jimmy has that winning pedigree. That's true.
Okay, for Jimmy G, I'll give you.
It's not about numbers; it's about winning.
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
I mean, if I was the Niners, I don't know if I move on from him.
I agree with you.
Just because you've been to the Super Bowl and then you've been to the NFC Championship game and
give it another year.
Yeah, so.
I mean, is Trey Lance ready? I mean, that's how I look at it because if you get rid of Jimmy G, Trey Lance better. He's better come and win. Yeah. He has to come in and win. Like that's. Yep. I'm sorry. Mm-hmm. That's one thing that Jimmy G does. He wins. So, what would it take to get to Jimmy though? What would you give up for Jimmy G?
I would give up a second. I would. I don't think you're going to get a first for him. Maybe you do. I don't know.
No, you won't get a first. But, I think it's a second plus.
So,
yeah.
A second and
say like a fifth.
Next year's fourth.
That's fine.
Four for a possible third.
Yeah.
I'll give you that. Like, yeah, if he starts all the games, like he's fully healthy, like that fourth turns into a third.
Yeah, that's fine. It's fine with me.
Probably the same deal for Kirk Cousins.
Maybe. Just I don't know, because then Minnesota becomes an attractive spot because you have Adam Thielen and Justin Jefferson. So
Dalvin Cook.
Yeah, Dalvin Cook too. So yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, see, that's what I'm saying. It's a quarterback carousel. It's like I heard people think about Matty Ice.
Yeah, we're not getting anybody.
We're not getting anybody.
We're not getting anybody.
That's why, like I said, I'm cool.
Oh, I like where we're at. I mean, I'm fine. Everybody else is like trying to figure out, okay, what veteran quarterback do I get? It's like now they brought up Matt Ryan. I'm like,
yeah,
what is he the guy? I mean,
they just restructured his contract, so that's.
They did. Okay, I heard they were working on that. Okay,
yeah, it's something to keep an eye on.
But, all right. Okay. Well, that's it. I mean,
yeah. But, fam, we appreciate you as always, Todd. We appreciate you. If you haven't done so already, definitely watch Batman. It's so good. It's so good.
Okay, it's worth it.
Good. Oh yeah, it's worth it. It's so good.
I had to wait till the over here they fully went away with the whole test because that's what was going on this month. So I was like, okay, I'll wait, but I'll tell you something else later.
Okay, all right, yeah, we'll talk about it off air.
Yeah,
but quick update, real quick. No show next week. We'll be back. What is that the following week? What's that date the following week? The 20 what? Not the 18th, but the 25th. Yeah, so we'll be back on the 25th. So we won't be back next week, but we'll be back the following week. So, as always, from Jake Friel, Dan Shriak, Todd down below, and Pete. Pete had to get off early. So, we'll catch you guys back next week. Later, guys.